is me, Trader Mac, here from Shogun GunSho here on February 13th, the day before Lover's Day, I guess. And I am joined by Crypto Quinton. How you doing, buddy?
Hello. I'm happy to be here. I'm doing good.
Yeah, man, it's an exciting show today. You know, everything has its trials and tribulations, as you know. But we're joined by some awesome panelists, and our show is sponsored today by Tire Dads. I love this coin. This is one of my favorite coins out there. We have such a great time. That's right. If you're a Tire Dad and you're not in Tire Dads yet, you better go find it because we're going to share a bunch of links and stuff. But we have Jay from Tire Dads, one of the main community members over there. How you doing today, Jay?
I'm doing great, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
And I love your voice.
Oh, thank you very much. I try. It's one of those sexy voices. But Jay, thanks a lot for being here. We appreciate Tire Dads and Mac and everybody else over there. We'll get a chance to hear from you today all about Tire Dads from your perspective, which I appreciate you being here. Let me see. Let me kill this little media banner here because I don't want to kill anybody's. We also have Jesse from Congress. How you doing, buddy?
Man, I would love to say that I've never had a bad day, baby. I'm just sitting here turning up every single day. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
It's funny because I'm a dad and
Yeah,
I'm always tired too. So like I love the whole concept of that. That's awesome. I appreciate you letting us be here, man.
Yeah, this is awesome. Tired Dads is not about not tired moms, right? Because that's a whole nother class. That's exhausted moms, right? So we can have them over there. And if you don't acknowledge that, then there's always rolling pin mom that can come by and smack you in the head and do that process. But we're also joined by Bitcoin Barbie. How you doing today, bud?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for asking. And also, I mean, I'm not a dad clearly, but I am a mom and I am always tired as well. So
yeah, I'm not here to judge. If you are a dad, that's whatever you identify as whatever, right? That's fine. No, I'm serious. You're a constant professional. I appreciate you being here today. I can't wait to hear a lot more about the community. You're here as a panelist today, which is awesome. I'm so glad that you're here because we value our panelists as well as our sponsors to help us talk in our chill portion, which we'll talk about here in a second. And then we have No Hat, of course, all-time friend, big lover of Shogun.
Hey guys, how's everyone doing?
Doing pretty good today, buddy. How are you? How's the good fight coming?
It's good. You know, it's has been a couple weeks a little rough, but it's also a very good time to plan ahead and keep cooking.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you never stop eating and cooking, right? So it's always a good thing. Speaking of which, everybody's here. Thank you so much, No Hat, for being here today. You're streamed through. If you're watching on one of these, now I know we had some issues going around. We got some good streams happening. We got a Tire Dad stream happening. If you're watching over there, we got labs up. We have a few people down below, some great sponsors here today. Some great shillers here today. But the Shogun GunSho is about 3 segments. The first is the shill. People are going to come up. You're going to hear people talk about their coin, but I'm also going to be able to share their spaces and their communities and their websites and their chart. We can have all kinds of conversation. If you're a shiller, you just make sure you tell me what you want me to show on the screen, and we'll show it. We'll then do we'll have one shiller down below. Then we'll have a panelist come up and talk, and we'll do all the way till they're all finished, and we'll go as long as that takes. We do pretty well with the numbers. These are concurrent numbers. You'll hear me talk about them as we go. We'll have a little fun with that today. We'll also give our sponsors some time to come out and talk about what's happening over in their neck of the woods. In the next portion of the show, we'll be talking in our chill portion. This is where we get to talk about something industry-wide. And today is all about brain trust. That's right. I'm going to ask all of our panelists and some of our shillers down below, if you had one thing in the market that you could have built, like the one thing that could kind of make your coin just a little bit better, maybe quality of life or software or a concept, whatever it is, you tell me, because unfortunately I'm addicted to building and I like to put things in my wheelhouse where I probably shouldn't, but we will today, right? We're going to entertain just about any idea, you know, as long as it's not like, yes, build something that can do everything automated for me. Well, maybe that's it as well. Who knows if you got the right money. But what I want you to realize is that chill portion is to open up conversation, what the industry may need more of, not just less ruggers. That would be all great. We did build something for that. But in the concept of your world, what could you have us build or someone build to help to make it better? So that's the main chill for today. And then finally, one of my favorite parts, the alpha. Now, the alpha portion is the best portion because you get to tell people what's happening in your coin to bring them to your coin to buy. That's right, because you want them to buy in. You want them to become a holder so they can enjoy in the alpha as well. If you don't have something, that's okay. Just say it's going to be standard. We're going to be putting out content. We're going to be putting out whatever. But the one rule is make sure whatever alpha you are spinning out today, it's not conceptual, but it's being built and it's going to release in the next 2 weeks. If not, that's okay. You can always come back and see us again another time. All right. I think we're about to get started. If everybody has your seats on, the first shiller that was here, Mr. Quinton, where did they go? Was it was Monk, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Adding you up. Hey, Monk, how you doing? Welcome to the show for the Shogun Gun Show.
Hey, thank you so much. Glad to be here.
I'm going to get your stuff ready here right now. 1 second. Oh my God, I feel so bad. What coin is it? I'm looking. Oh, I'm on the wrong sheet. I'm on the wrong damn sheet. I'm like, there's no Monk on my sheet.
No, it's all good. The temple is the ticker is Monk.
There you go.
MUNK.
I'm going to pull you up here and put you up here and do that. Ta-da! I think I found it, right? Is that right?
There we go.
Yay.
So I guess I'll just jump into it, right?
Yes, please.
So I do feel like, so we are a meme coin, right? We're a community-driven meme coin. We do feel like meme coins usually have the same roadmap, more or less. It's usually mint, accumulate, raid, push, sell. This has kind of led to like a huge problem in the space where it's hard for people to hold on to long-term conviction plays because devs are more interested in just kind of getting a bag for themselves instead of building a real project. I think this has a lot to do with Pump.Fun. Pump.Fun's intention was to make the space less PvP, if you will, but it kind of did the exact opposite.
Oh boy, did it.
Right? It gave birth to these like micro rugs that kind of litter the space, and it's just made it more expensive for real projects to launch since they need to seed the LP liquidity themselves. So for Monk, the strategy is a little bit different. So if you see most major meme coin pops, there's a big influencer that pushes or creates the narrative. Like Mumu has Solstice, Doge has Elon, DGods has Frank, Whiff has Ansem. But we kind of want Monk to have its believers, right? That's kind of the essence behind Sol. Solana doesn't really have a flagship influencer that pushes Solana. Solana stays active because of the community, whether that's the Magic Eden degens or us meme coin guys, or right, like there's always someone in the Solana space keeping the volume and the really the chain alive. So Monk's message isn't really about one project. It's about conviction and belief. And we feel like the community, the Solana community, can attach themselves to the narrative behind Monk, which is believing and conviction, because that's really what pushes projects to the next level. Like, do you guys remember Magic Eden, like the birth of the Good Morning guys, the GMers?
Oh, yeah.
Right. But now if you were on Magic Eden, you still see some of those guys who have, maybe they started with a couple hundred followers and now they're like sitting on a good 40, 50, 60,000 followers. And it's kind of cool to see their growth, right? Because that's real community driven value. So yeah, that's what we're about at Monk. That's what we're about at the temple. We've been through the ringer here. We've never seen a space where there are people with equally as good intentions as bad. So it's been kind of a battle sifting through the who's who. Yeah. But I think we're finally there, and we welcome everybody to come join the temple. The temple is nothing without its believers.
Absolutely, I love it. The concept I'm going to jump over to, because we're here as a network as well, and as traders and builders and everything else, you should never be swayed by a chart, right? To a degree, right? Every chart tells a story. Everything has a thing, right? The barrier of entry, super sweet. The working channel that is here, super strong. Anything that you apply to it now will just add to the value of what you're building. I really do appreciate you being here today, Monk. There is, I love the message, right? Because you talk right into the value of what we built as well. Pump Fund did do exactly that. They they created the opposite inclusion. What they were trying to do is to make it, more accessible for the average person to lay things out. But what they also did is allowed the scammers and shammers to come in, right, in that process. So we just put together Launchpad. I'm not going to shill on top of your shill, but Launchpad actually does create a fair sale for Pump Fund. So your that community coin can actually make a fair sale system that fires off once it's funded and goes straight onto the Pump Fund contract. So we've definitely, because we listened to somebody and we built it off of something like we're doing today, a little get together and say, hey, if we only had a way to do this for Pump Fund, and then we went and made it. And that took 4 weeks to do, 5 weeks to build.
It's a great idea. It's a great idea. I feel like as we go on in the space, more and more people want to become builders, right? So,
well, unfortunately, I got to go to BA every once in a while, Builders Anonymous, and stand on my chair. But unfortunately, I haven't built the building yet. Now I got to go do that. But I love the fact that you have this concept out there, that it's more than just a meme. And you have believers in the network, because you're right. People, that dynamic of mints, promote, sell off, run to the next. It's always
just
that
kind of it creates for a toxic space. I hate to ask, but if you want to go over to our Twitter, I did promise the artist that I'll show off his talent a little bit.
Absolutely.
So I guess if you just go to media, if you click media on the Twitter, maybe you'll see all the
which one's media?
The art we have. Media, it's on the bottom. So posts, replies, highlights, media. Like if you move your cursor down a bit.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah. Boom. So our artist is on the team. He did a great job. He's actually like a video games VFX artist. So it's a bit hard for him to do like 2D work. But I did promise him that I would shill him. I won't drop his ad, but thank you, brother. Love you so much.
Yeah, this guy's it's talent. I like it. It's got it.
He's really creative.
Yeah. I want to use this when I go to the club next time. Be like, hey, look, get out of the way. I need through.
100%. I want to do that in the snow.
Yeah, right. This is how people over at Monk clean their driveway.
If only.
Yeah, right. This is what I feel like my mother-in-law looks like every time I'd wake up in the morning. Yeah. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here today. And that's our first shill, man. So stick around with us. If you can, maybe you can add some stuff in on our chill portion. I'll invite you to be there as well if you have time.
Sure thing. We'll love to. Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, no problem. All right. So that's how it works. The shiller comes up and he does this thing. Monk did a great job. I love it. I love the concept. Anytime that you got this free will process of people knowing what this industry has become, it's there. So we're about 15 minutes in, and this is always good news. We do this periodically throughout the show. I'm going to take a quick screenshot of the numbers. And by the numbers, let me bring up my beautiful little face right here, right next to it. We have Lake Soul with 84, No Hat Solana 23, Tired Dads at 79, Mr. Trader Max 31, Shogun Cryptos at 187. Doing pretty good there. And poor old Trader Max over on YouTube, who only has 3. Yeah, that's right. It's probably my best friend sitting over there anyway. Who knows? Maybe it's my grandmother. Or I don't know what's happening over there. But YouTube has always been shadow banning us on StreamYards here for so long. It's like a major gig with us now. One of the things in there. But that's how it works. We got about 400 something people in right now. Don't look, it's not about the numbers. Those are concurrent, by the way. Those aren't consecutive. That means like every person you have coming in, make sure that you're getting your followers, your TG guys over into your stream if you're not, and then or into ours. Have them share links back to your stuff. Please use that system for our Twitter account to raid. Get your raiders in there, raid that stuff up there, share all the stuff you got coming, and make sure that you share that time out. So we have a 1-to-1 ratio today. So we're going to be doing 1 shiller and 1 panelist. And let's try that and get that out of the way. So the first person we're going to have up is, is Jesse from Congress. So you were here first.
I appreciate all the love, guys. I love seeing the new communities, getting everybody together. We got a little interesting project, kind of the same background. We wanted to get away from rug pullers and combat, jeets, if you will. So we built our program, Congress, on something called Meteora. So the reason behind that is because the top 50 holders are going to be able to get rewards for holding. You know, a lot of people are like, well, why would I hold? Why would I hold this versus that? The reason is because you're going to want to get rewarded. Everybody's here to make money. So we made sure that we did a couple things. One, we're US based. I'm a docs dev. You could look me up. I'm actually a stonemason, a successful businessman in Ohio. We have a Google engineer on our team that does our AEO and our SEO, just to kind of prove that this is a long-term project. You could find us on Google. We make sure that the community is very involved, and it's also all organic growth. So we make sure that with the organic growth, we don't want to just get someone that's, you know, buying in for $10, holding it for 3 hours and selling it, you know. So we made sure that there was tax implemented as well. So with the reward systems with the top 50 people, we have a 3% tax for if you jump in for the first 4 hours. After that 4-hour mark, it'll be 5 hours to 23 hours. That 3% tax drops down to 1.5%. And then after 24 hours, it'll drop down to 0.25%. So if you are a trader, it just gives you a little incentive to pump the brakes a little bit and come and meet the devs. We hold daily VCs because we're looking at this like a long-term business play versus just a pump and dump or a rug that you see, you know, most of the times when people get tired. The other good thing about us all being business owners is, you know, we're not poor. So, you know what I mean? We have the ability to market, you know, and I think that people don't understand how expensive it is. You know, I mean, just starting this project off, I think it cost about 10 grand. So, I mean, and it's a continual thing. So, you know, kind of weeding out the people that are here to jump around, and that's cool. We like our traders. You're going to get taxed though. You're going to get a G tax, you know, and it's going to be paid to the people that are holding and a part of the project. And one of our biggest things is we want to talk to other communities. That's why we jump. We love what you guys are doing at Shogun. We love what the different communities coming together do for everybody's project, you know, whether it's Tired Dad, you know what I mean, or anybody else that's on here. You know, I just happen to hear about them from, you know, a couple of Shilling buddies. So we want to meet everybody. We want our community to come into your community. We want to talk, see there's money to be made everywhere. It's just, we don't want to be a part of a crypto community that's based on rug pulls. You know, we want to be able to create projects and then grow with them long term, so people can go to sleep at night and not be worried about, oh my goodness, is my money going to disappear? You know, when I wake up.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, it's so tough in an industry to find devs that have their community really involved, right? Like what Monk was saying, you know, like it's not just about the mint, the shill, and then the pump, and then the dump, right? It's something longer term. It's longer valued. So that's always a good thing. And I'm glad that you're here today as far as part of our panelists.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
And you seem to have like an overabundance amount of energy for being a tired dad, but but I appreciate it.
I'm Sicilian, man. I think it's just the Italian in me. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, I'm unfortunately only half a Sicilian. It's the lower half that because of but the top half is Irish, which is unfortunate because I don't know whether the drink, fight, or something else.
Hey, we built America, man. We built America. I can't wait to talk about the alpha. I think that we'll have some good ideas going back and forth together. So thanks again, man.
You're welcome, and I appreciate it. Now, most people are like, "Wait a minute, it's Meteora coin. He's not." Wait, this is a Solana show. Yeah, absolutely. You know, but listen, this is something that none of our networks or our bots use it just yet, but they will because this is part of the, you know, the idea of building out. And you said something in your show about getting in and speaking to others as well. You know, this network, this show, our life in this is all about building relationship. You know, if you don't have relationship, you really don't have anything. You know, no matter what you're building, if you don't have good customer relationship, you know, somebody walks into your business, you might as well just punch them in the face when they come in, right? Because you got to know how to build it to keep them there. You know, I would never come in and say, all right, man, you got 8 minutes to run through my store and grab all the food you can and eat it. But you can't, you're going to have to pay before you leave, right? That ain't going to happen. You know, everybody's going to eat and run, you know? So I think what you bring to the table with your understand, from your community is like, you're a business owner. You know what it takes to get to that level. I was joking around in a backstage on Tuesday where I said, all you guys, like, I think, who was there, Quentin? I think there was a few people. They all had businesses. One had a concrete company. One had another company. There was like all these business owners. Like, the one thing we all have in relationship is that we're business owners. It doesn't mean that you can't be successful and not be a business owner, but we know the trials and tribulations of what when shit goes wrong, what to do to fix it, that kind of stuff. So it was good to see the relationship, and I'm glad you brought that to the table.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think that's one of the biggest points that people forget is that, like, everyone jumps in crypto and they're like, I'm going to get rich overnight. And it's like, if you do jump into something and you end up hitting a big bag, it's because those developers took time and they planned that out for months. They didn't just say, hey guys, let's get together and figure this out. That's
exactly.
It doesn't work like that. Nothing in life works like that. What is the saying? Anything that's easy is not good, and anything that's good's not easy, right?
Exactly. I like it. So the concept too is like a lot of people are like quick to the ROI. Like, no, I'm an investor. I'll invest and I need my money. Yeah, VCs are even the worst kind of animal in it. They go, all right, I just paid you $5,000. Where's my cut? And it's like, or if it's something silly like, an investor comes in, hey, you promised us rev share. We're going to get, when are we going to get our money? Yeah. Okay. Well, if you invest in my business and I open up a business, it takes like 3 to 4 years for you to make a profit, unless you're like completely flushed and you bought all your people and they're all coming in. That's a different concept. But to build it from the ground up, grassroots, organic, bootstrapping, it takes years. Right. But in our network, we got a bunch of people that stick with us. Some didn't. That's truthful. But, it happens. But thanks, Congressman Jesse. I appreciate you being here today.
Yeah,
I can't wait to talk to you about the brain trust, too, because I think you'll have some good ideas as well. All right. So down below, right now, we just broke 600 people, which is awesome. We have 600 beautiful people with us right now watching the Shogun Gun Show. And if you're watching in one of the networks there, please make sure that you're sharing, you're getting a whole bunch of stuff out about your coin, about your community. Make sure you've got putting some, emojis in, the whole thing. Make sure that you're in there saying all the great things about your people as you have been. Lots and lots of comments are happening. I see most of you can see them. Let me pull this up here. Where'd it go? Oh, what's your site? Yeah, we're doing pretty good. So 150, 40, 106 with tired dads. Crypto, Shogun Crypto, I mean, it's just been taking it on, man. 261. And Trader Max's little YouTube channel is always going to hold too, because maybe I planted them there. I don't know, but they're there. And that's what we're here for today. All right. Most of you that are watching, I appreciate most of you. Get in there and share this stuff out there. Get it out to more people. It's not going to be the best show ever today, but it's definitely going to be a great show because I got some great panelists in here. We have Bitcoin Barbie. We got No Hat. We have Jay, who's a sponsor, Congress you just heard from. And then we have some awesome shillers. The next shiller up is let's see, I think it was was it?
Yes, sir. It was Professor.
Professor from Lab. How you doing? And by the way, thank you very much for sharing your stream. You're going to be here with us in the chill portion of the show as well. I appreciate you sharing your stream out as well.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Just wanted to start again. I know I was saying it backstage. Shout out to the Shogun team. By far the best well-run spaces I've ever been a part of. And I've been part of quite a few. Just incredibly well organized, very professional. So give Shogun a follow, man. What a great team they have there. Just had to give you that shout out to start.
I always love the flowers right off the beginning. I got to get my soundboard back up again because it's like really low at the moment. But thanks, Labs. So let me get your stuff up here. Tell us, what the concept of the coin is in the network. And
Sure. So, before the spaces, I did put together just a framework to make sure that I could keep it within 5 minutes. ChatGPT helped me out. So I have just an overview here that I think I can tackle. Do you mind if I just go ahead and dive into it?
Dude, you do anything you want in this show. I trust what you're going to come at. Yeah, I'm going to share my screen, and if you tell me you need to go someplace, you let me know, and I will do that.
Sure. Yeah, I think a good place to start is just our X, the most recent pin post, because I'm gonna reference that here for the lab.
Got to make sure I follow.
Perfect. All right. So I'll just go ahead and dive into it with some brief background here. So I've been in the crypto space since 2013. Like a lot of us, just started out as a casual investor, investing in blue chips. I was an XRP maxi at one point. Unfortunately, I sold it all. Outside of crypto, I'm the CEO and co-founder of one of the larger reputation management and branding firms globally. But crypto has always been a passion of mine. Fast forward to April of this year, I came across Pump Fund. And I thought it was an incredible concept. I'm like, how cool is it that anyone can launch a token for less than a cup of coffee? And you're only limited really by your ideas and skill sets to grow the token. So I started investing in a few tokens. Next thing I know, literally every token I had invested in rugged. And this is something that for somebody that's just traditionally invested in blue chips, like it was very bothersome. Like the catalyst to me actually launching Lab in the first place, I was just pissed off. In the moment, it was like 11 o'clock on like a Wednesday night. I told literally nobody. I'm like, I'm just going to launch a token and see what happens. To make a long story short, that token was Lab. Lab ended up going to a $28 million market cap, hit top 10 Pump Fund. And, this was before really the big, I would say, liquidity wave in Solana. So we were one of the earlier tokens to launch. And, the concept of Lab at the time was I'm the professor. You are our community, our team of scientists, and you scientists tell me what to do to grow our project as quickly as possible.
Wow.
So as simple as this concept sounded, it really resonated with just the degen community because you're actually listening, to what needs to be done to grow the project. So we started with just experimentation. We would listen to the community. They would tell me what to do, and I would do exactly what they said to grow the project. I invested personally over $500,000 into experiments because ultimately what we wanted to find out is there a blueprint to building a marketing strategy where if you could replicate it, you had a higher chance of success in the meme coin space. So essentially it was, how do we find the highest ROI marketing initiative to grow a meme coin project? And, we started collecting data on that, and we still have a lot of that data. Now, what happened, like a lot of tokens that go through parabolic pumps, you have, shiny object syndrome, very short-sighted space. People are just looking for the next pump. So, we experienced this parabolic pump followed by a lot of adversity, a parabolic dump over time. There's no other way to look at it. But, even, the most successful projects out there, a lot of them are going through the same thing. So what transpired from, just doing all these kind of like crazy things that, was very different from your typical dev. We attracted a really strong community that I really never anticipated. But right now we have a community of 4,000 plus, on TG, a lot of them professionals. We have a resident scientist, like an actual IRL scientist, and a lot of business owners as well that have grown to become my friends. Like, we are a really tight-knit community. So like any community that wants to, sustain long-term in this space, you really have to evolve. And, we asked ourselves, okay, we experienced this parabolic pump, where this concept of experimentation, what's next? Now, through my own experience, there were two big issues in this space that we wanted to tackle. One was complete lack of trust, and especially Solana. Like, how the hell can you trust any project or dev in this space? It's incredibly difficult to do. And the second was lack of sleep. So I think everybody listening to this space right now has probably experienced some sort of sleep disruption, possibly chronic sleep deprivation. So we launched Meme Trust several months ago, which right now it's a free community that you can apply to. And our goal really is to build the largest network of trusted devs and service providers on Solana. And that's a long-term play. We just want to continue to build that network, and then potentially we can, do all sorts of different things with that. Now, what's front and center, within our community right now is this concept of sleep deprivation and providing solutions to not only, Solana and people in the trenches, but I would say that the crypto market as a whole. There's 600 million plus, crypto traders. So over the last several weeks, and I'm taking my own personal experience really to build this, I just started reaching out, to several brands, like very well-known brands in the space. We have a very clear concept on what we want to build. And what has transpired over the last several weeks, honestly, is nothing short of astonishing. We've solidified a partnership with the largest data provider and tech company in the entire sleep space. We have a partnership being announced next week with one of the larger wearable technology companies that probably many of you have heard of. And the whole concept that we're building here is this sleep ecosystem. So the first thing we want to do is we want to incentivize basically better sleep. So, the golden egg that we're after there is a sleep to earn concept that I think resonates far beyond the crypto space. So I think that's attracting a lot of interest. And then we're also, I recently hired 5 gigabrain AI devs that are very well versed in building AI agent tools for enterprises. And we're going to be bringing a tool to the sleep space that is going to be a true disruptor. Like, we are completely flying under the radar right now. But I have no doubt that it's going to attract a lot of attention, not only from Web3, but Web2. So, we're trying to bridge this gap between traditional Web2 sleep brands and the cryptocurrency market. So that's just, very, very high level overview on, what we're doing here. And, the big picture on what we're building, because I do see this as a multi-cycle play. I personally really enjoy this. It's very entrepreneurial. Lab is the Nestle of crypto. So that's why I said, if you bring up the pinned tweet, and if you understand, how Nestle, where they are in the hierarchy of brands, they're at the very top of the hierarchy, and then Nestle owns or is affiliated with all these other brands that drive value back to Nestle. So if you take the same concept with Lab, now we have Meme Trust, now we have the Snooze Labs brand that's launching. The whole idea here is, as our collective brands grow, we drive value and growth back to the Lab token while simultaneously building our community. So that's where we're at. Hopefully that all made sense.
Absolutely. Cross-pollination and branding is a powerful tool, especially if you get somebody who really understands the value of what you're building. My problem with building is I get in this structure of that I build with that strategy in mind prior to just going out, maybe that's a good idea. It's like all these things are thought of, and I put it in the plan, and I manipulate that process to go in that direction. I love what you have built here. I love that fact that the reference of Nestle is huge, because I'm a big fan of branding. It's one of the things we use in all of our systems as well, the brand of trust for the Shogun. And I appreciate it. I love the look of your stuff. You've done a very good job of it. I think, like, at this point, and your chart looks amazing too. I don't know if you want to talk about your chart at all, but that's completely up to you at this point, but we can always do that next time.
Sure. I can briefly reference. I mean, to be honest, I don't like you said earlier, it's like chart really doesn't reflect much, especially now in how the market's looking overall. So, I don't really analyze it, but what I can tell you is, in the last, I think 30 days, we're up at least 50%, maybe more than that. And I think it's just a matter of, we really had to, I think, like a lot of communities, you really have to take a step back and say, what the hell are we doing here? How do we make this sustainable? It's either we make it sustainable, or people are just going to go elsewhere and, ape into the next thing. But I've invested so much time in my own personal capital in doing this. It's like, it's beyond monetary at this point. And I'm sure other founders listening can resonate with this. Like, one of the biggest accomplishments of my life will be when Lab smashes all-time high based off this freaking insane journey that started with this Pump Fund token. So it's like this personal, like, vendetta, like, against all.
The guy will make it work, damn it. Whether come hell, high, water, or failure, it's going to happen.
Exactly.
Feast or failure, right? Listen, in this concept, I don't talk about coins as the value of the net worth, I should say, or the market cap. I don't have a relationship with coins in that direction, especially with ones that have a big, deep business sense about them. Even with our coin, we were sitting up at 3 million, came down. Now we're at like 200,000. People are leaving and doing whatever. But the coin really has done a job for us to build the structure. Right. It is important. It is a very important structure. That's why everything that we built 25% of everything we make goes back into the coin. And we've already started that process, and we're putting that back in. And so eventually the coin will get a premise of going up and up and up and nonstop, because it doesn't rely on holders.
Yes.
Right. It relies on the systems, the Anvil bot, the Tsunami bot, our Launchpad system, all puts back into it to beef that. So you just tell people to hold them, you know, just hunker down, work, be here. I'm giving them work to push out there, just like you are. You have a concept that you're doing. The whole thing with sleep, by the way, tired dads, is like, don't untire me. I'd like to be tired. You know, you're gonna put them out of a job, damn it. You know, that is not like semi was tired dad is going to be the new coin is going to have to release. But Professor, thank you so much for being here. I want you to stick around with us to be part of the chill portion, because you've done such a great job. You've linked your stuff in here. We just hit 767 viewers, concurrent viewers right now, watching our beautiful faces be involved. I can't thank you enough for doing that. You didn't have to do that, but you did. There's all the proofs in the pudding is in the eating, 776 right there. But thanks a lot for being here today and giving us our flowers as well.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. All right, let's drop back down. That was another Shiller. Now, so far, doing great. We're about one half through the first hour, so about 137 right now, so not too bad. It is flying, it's going fast. I'm really looking forward to it, because once we get through all the Shillers, we get a chance to actually come out and talk about some real good stuff for the communities and the networks. You're watching the Shogun GunSho. I did this earlier. I'm going to do it again just real super quick. I'm sorry, I got to take a screenshot of this because there was I'm a big numbers dude. When it stopped for like 2 minutes on 666, I was like a little worried, but then it just stopped on 777, and I'm like, somebody's answering back. Yay, let's go, right? And now it's like almost 800 now. It's like pumping up through the world. I don't know. You know, I'm a big numbers dude. All right. So we had a Shilla down below come up. I will bring up Bitcoin Barbie now. I know that we've had back and forth. You've had a lot of stuff happen to you over the last week. How you doing today?
I'm great. I'm doing wonderful. I'm so excited to be here. And I know I can't remember who said it before, but this is like, yeah, super awesome. Like just the way you have everything set up. So yeah, it's exciting to be a part of something that's well orchestrated, and to see, you know, and pull ideas from what you're doing, just to orchestrate myself a little better, even in my own projects and spaces.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. We're in this. As somebody also said today, we're not in this for just the money, right? But we are in here to make lives better, to make things better for others. Our volume bots, everything that we have built has always been, you know, one of the things that we did, I don't want to shill before your shill, but our WebForge network, our Panther Pilot network, is a marketing firm that I've owned for 4 years. And I use in my dojo. I have a Kempo dojo I have in Morrisville, Pennsylvania. I'm a 7th degree black belt. My son, who's Crypto Quinton, is my 2nd degree black belt, who's also a teacher. You know, we give back to community and it's a personal sacrifice. You got to do this, but that's not what I'm trying to tell you right now. Is like when we came into this space, everybody's like, "Oh, I can't afford to buy the system." I was like, "Can you afford not to?" And they're like, "No, I really need a system." I was like, "Okay, so if that's the case, let me give it to you for free." What do you got to say then? That's a pretty low barrier of entry, isn't it? And so they build websites, they build the social media platform. They have a CRM in there. They got a learning network that's back there that you can use for your own coins, and it's absolutely free. I don't take a single cent from any of it, unless you have somebody build something for you for it. We do those services as well. But the reason why we did that, not because it's a lost leader, it's just good business to help people become successful. And that's what you're doing here too. And I appreciate you being here. Please come out and tell us what the project that you're shilling today.
So I'm with Hodl Date, and as you mentioned, we've had some issues.
Hang on 1 second. I want to interrupt you, because I think you're getting notifications to your phone. That's what's happening, and you can hear the vibration through, and it kind of cuts you out a little. Yeah. I want to make sure you get the best shill. If not, I'm going to have to pull you aside and do an interview with you later to get the best shill from you.
No worries here. I think that should be better now. I just turned off I put it on D&D. Yeah, so
Is she frozen?
Yeah, she's frozen.
Okay.
She might have when she went on D&D, it might have toggled airplane mode or something.
It could have. She's really good. Like if we're playing the no blinking game, she's winning. I'm not going to let her win. I'm sorry, Barbie. Man, that sucks.
I got you.
You got,
Let's go.
no,
Need
you're
your speed,
going
need your speed. Let's go.
Yours
go.
is scarier. Yeah, we're there. You're muted though, so
You're
you got to unmute.
Okay, that wasn't just me, right? That was everyone.
No, that was just you. That was just you.
It was just me.
Yeah, we were all having fun with it. That's fine. You had a great expression on your face. I didn't screen capture it. I should have, but it's very good.
Damn, it's that Mexican internet.
It's only here for a short time. It has a hard time getting through the gate. I don't know what happens.
Exactly. It's my turn to talk, so Mexico is like, no, that's actually not. Yeah.
No, I'm not going to let you do it. No.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Let's try again. You hit DND and it was like, do not let her talk. That's what it was.
Right. I was like,
do not dictate. There you go.
You're
All right.
right.
Tell us about Hold Date.
So Huddle Date is a DGen dating space that we're in the midst of creating. We haven't launched our app yet. We will shortly. I don't want to give a date on that because we are still working out the semantics on exactly what we want that to be and what we want to release in it. But we're right now we are hosting spaces online on Twitter, and it's been a lot of fun. So usually we do a Thursday night meet and greet where it's a little, it's a little more chill, kind of like this. We all just get to know each other. It's not really like a shill space, but it's more of a shill yourself space. And we can talk and we loosen up. And, I know a lot of us are here. We're sitting here in the charts all day. We're watching charts. We're in spaces, hearing shills. We're looking at where we're investing. And we're just so enthralled with the game. But the truth about it is that I started Huddle Date because it just became increasingly hard to date people myself who are not in the crypto industry. I got so sick of answering the question like, oh, isn't crypto a scam? Like, isn't it high risk? And listen, I've been in crypto since like 2016, 2017, full time since 2018. I teach this. I don't want to teach you while I'm on a date. I want to eat my dinner, So it just got to the point that I was annoyed. And I also had a few friends who were going through the same thing. I had a couple of my homeboys who actually called off engagements because their fiancés just weren't into crypto, weren't really supportive of what they were trying to do in crypto, and just really didn't understand it. I've had a couple other people split up over crypto, which sounds so crazy. But for a lot of us here who are like rocking PFPs as our pictures on X, and we're in here, we're in spaces 8 to 12 hours a day. If you're not talking to somebody who understands this, it's really hard to be in a relationship. How do I explain to someone that I just lost a bunch of money on butthole this week? Like, how do I say that to someone with a straight face? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Right. And then how are you supposed to explain that to someone if they don't get it and if they're not supportive? I mean, we're living a lifestyle. This is a lifestyle. When you're in crypto and you're in this deep, this is a lifestyle. And a lot of the time, if you do get free time, especially if you are a dev, especially if you are building a project, you don't want to spend it trying to explain yourself, So Huddle Date was the curation of this idea. And that's basically where we started. So yeah, Thursday night is meet and greet, and then we do a spicy Sundays, which definitely gets risque, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of laughs, and we've had a few people. I mean, listen, not everyone's coming to tell me what's happening afterwards, but I'm pretty sure it's going down in the DM.
Yeah, I like it. No, I do. I really do like it because the concept here is like, degens are that process, right? Like you don't know where they go and cultivate afterwards. Like, do they all go and you look out your window, there's a bunch of degens sitting on a corner or something? It's not like, Northeast Philadelphia back in the 70s and stuff, but I do really enjoy the fact that you listen to what was missing in the network. I don't, of course, I'm not in a dating scene, and I'm looking over my shoulder to make sure my wife doesn't have, I taught her how to throw knives and do other things, so I got to be careful. And my son's on the line here too, so I got to be really careful. But there's this level of unknowedness when you talk to people about crypto. And I say that because it's ignorance, right? Because they think they know, they think they hear, right? I was in an internet radio for a long time. And I would tell people, they say, what do you do for a living? I'm in internet radio. Oh, yeah. Is that what you do in your mom's basement? Is that what it is or something like that? And really, I owned 3,600 radio stations, and we were making $300,000 a week. And there's nothing I could tell them like that, right? It was like, yeah, it's not just that, right? And the same thing with crypto. When I was mining crypto back in the day, it's like, oh yeah, you're doing that. It's like penny clicking kind of thing, and it kind of was, but it just made millions of dollars. So I think the lack of that is from ignorance, right? But when you find like-minded people, like you're doing right now, and you're putting them together, a dating service is okay. All kidding aside, it is really about building relationship. At the most native standard of building relation. I love what you're doing here with that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah, you're absolutely correct. At the end of the day, it is really about the networking, and we center it, around the dating narrative. But we do end up having a lot of people who come in the space and they cross paths with each other and they joke and they laugh, and then people are, I've seen people hop up and all of a sudden people that didn't know each other before are hosting spaces together and another space another day. So it's been a really amazing journey. If we can just get X to stop suspending our accounts, I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah, what, and here's another good performance of this is we created the Shogun GunSho because we spent 5 days promoting a show for a Tuesday, and it got rugged on Spaces. Like wholeheartedly, couldn't get it back up, couldn't do whatever. Oh, it was a Thursday show. And it was like, come on, this is ridiculous. We've only ever had a high of 85 people. You got to give us a break here. What's happening? Why can't we even get this show started? And the very next day, Quentin and I, we made this system for StreamYards, and we had 350 on that first little practice show. 350. So it just takes a little bit of time to figure out what you want it to do and find it and build it. And that's what you've done here. Whether or not you're still building it out, you're doing all that stuff and how you're doing it. I love it because you're acceptable to that. You're not held by a standard. You just make it happen. So do the same thing. Find a way. This one's a little expensive. This is like $35 a week. It can be $60 a week. You can pay for months at a time. But if you got the people in your community, let them help foot the bill with it. Begin that process. Get in front of people. People can use their PFPs like Jay's using and No Hat's using, or they could be out in front like you are, or Congresses or myself, and you can no catfishing available, right? At that point, right? Or you can have it like that. You can have an avatar up here as well. That's pretty cool. I really appreciate you being here and being part of the panel today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm excited to watch all the other projects as well. So I'll mic down so we can see another person come up.
Thank you. Appreciate you. All right. So again, back up. I was trying to stall. Shit, it didn't work because I was trying to stall because we're sitting at so close. We're 900. We got to 970 and it dropped back down. It's like 962. We got up to 970, dropped back down to 962 and then to 960. This is why I know it's concurrent because it kind of goes up, it comes down, it goes up and goes down. But as each new person makes a comment, and each new person comes to the stream and connects to that process, it drops down through their line and makes it live because they're in a live show. So it shows people on their side that they're in a live show as well. That's the beauty part about this. The algorithm is set for a reason, and we know what it is because we know that we control the API as well. So the concert for us is like you get as many people. If you're watching this show right now, make sure you're giving everybody love in there. Put in comment, interact, share, retweet, make comments on it. Get your raid team in there. If you're here and you have a community and you have a raid team, you should be having them raid. Either if you're in your own stream, raid your stream. Don't raid mine, raid yours. I want to share that wealth with you, that viewership. And if you are in our stream, share ours as well, but put the links to your coin in your raid and let them know who you are. I'm not going to ban anybody. I'm not going to kick anybody. And she just left. Poor Barbie, having some technical difficulties today. All right. So we had an opportunity. We got to meet some good Shillers above. That was one of our panelists. We're going to drop back down and hit probably, I think, our last Shiller in. And we have Murad.
Hello.
D from Murad. How you doing, bud?
Yeah, good. You hear me?
Yeah, we got you, bud. Sorry for the wait. That's the way
Well,
the show goes.
no worries. Hey, this is a great show. I've been very inspired already. Lab, Congress Dev, really nice stuff. I heard, yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So I'm from Murad, CTO. We are a CTO community. I'm just stepping up a little bit for this, but we're a complete community. We got a lot of admins, mods, all working hard, keeping telegrams together. So Murat is Solana meme coin, which has been, yeah, of course, because of the name, it went completely viral on the first day, went to 30 million, and then, of course, it got rugged. We found ourselves in that rug, went almost to dust. And but we then, since then, we took over as the CTO. Actually, there was another CTO takeover before, but that one was probably another scammer, and we took over from him. So we took over the deck screener, we took over the Telegram. It was quite an adventure, but this brought us really close to each other, and we have a really strong team now, I think. Of course, Murat, his narratives, we do as he does. We believe in what he believes in. That is that we have a great coin. We have a great narrative. We have a great ticker, and we know that. And we've been making a lot of art, a lot of memes daily, as you can see now. We have nice little videos. Yeah, we do a lot with IA. We made him into yeah. We have a lot of respect for the coins he likes. So like GigaChat, SPX, big inspirations for us also. And we actually made Murat into the GigaChat he is. And we yeah, you see a little. I heard you do martial arts. We made him into a Tekken character a little bit, but we've been mixing that up with some nice. We did in the VC on the Telegram. Sometimes we have Murat podcast going on 24 hours. Just his words, they're so nice, and they're really exactly our narrative at this moment. We hold, we believe. That's Murat.
Great.
We're 12 days old now or something, or maybe 14 or something. So it's a small community still, but we're growing every day, and we see there's a lot of power and a lot of sleepless nights for now. But we set up the whole infrastructure, and we're ready to go.
Yeah, the value of the coin itself, being a CTO, is always tough, because when you meet new people, you have to kind of understand, especially when it comes to a CTO, you never know who's who in those, right? The very beginning part of a CTO, when it first happens, there's doubt, there's FUD, there's all this stuff. There's like a negative connotation to the word CTO or the acronym of it anyway.
100%.
You know, and how do you break past that? And that's the tough part. And I like to tell people, if you're looking at a CTO, look past the words and look at the actions. You know, do they have control of the Twitter? Do they have the website? Is it in their control? Is the narrative set by them? And you have to listen, because you got to kind of reinvestigate the who's in control, right? What level of the network are you a part of? Are you the lead, or are you what is your? Are you just here for shilling today? Or are you just
no? I would say I'm pretty much the lead, because I set up together with some other guys, but we set up I paid for the Telegram. I mean for the deck screener takeovers, that kind of stuff. You know, we're not asking immediately money back to get the trust from the community, and we do the VCs, we show we're there, and we got a lot of other people that are really stepping up, you know, that are admins and mods, and we all talk together in the VCs, and we really found that yeah, we can trust each other, you know. We also know how it's we made a decision to leave another Telegram that was with 800 people inside, but we didn't trust that guy. He could delete that Telegram any moment, we felt, you know. So and just by our actions and just showing and stepping up every day, making the art, making the memes, I think that's how we got the trust from the community, and we got to keep going like this.
I appreciate that. It's always tough when you're first beginning to get over the nonsense that people have rugged in. I think the biggest rug I've ever been a part of is it hit something like 20-something million. And I did an interview with the owner at midnight, and by 2 o'clock, he had rugged out 2 in the morning. It was terrible. It was like bundled wallet. Yeah, right. Bundled wallet throwing down. And they're like, Max, I just got into this. I was like, wait, that wasn't my fault. But I was sort of responsible for him leaving because we found a inconsistency in his wording. Sorry. And I called him out on the show on it. And it's like, uh-oh. Yeah, he hung himself. That's really, I love your pantomimes up there, Krungus, but you drive me crazy up there. That's funny. But Murad, thank you so much, Guy, for being here today. I really do appreciate you. I look forward to seeing what happened with Murad. He looked like a fun character to be around. But thanks for being here.
Thank you very much. I just want to say, through all the shitty AMAs and questions that we got, like if we want to be a part of AMAs and this, you are a legend, man. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, my man. I appreciate you. We're here for you. You just let us know what you need.
Thank you.
All right, bud. All right. So while that was happening, we hit an earmark today of, and I always love to look at like where are we going to be at, you know, because we're in our first hour. We're coming to the top of the hour here. We have a couple more Shillers down, but I missed one down here. Artie's here. We're going to bring them up here in a second. But then we're going to come out and talk to No Hat here first. So it'll be No Hat and then Artie, and then we'll bring up Tired Dads for the sponsor and then get into our chill portion. But before we do, a momentous occasion. Dun, 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 I wish I hit the wrong button, of course. There we go. Ooh. Let me hit the screenshot here. Boom. Put myself back up there and right there. So, oh, no, that wasn't it. We hit 1,053 people. We got Lake on Soul or Lab Token on Soul or Soul. 241 kicking ass. Tired Dad neck and neck with Labs. Awesome job. No Hats allowed at 66. Mr. Trader Max on his personal X is sitting at 69. That's not a number. And Shogun Crypto's kicking it with 438 and staying consistent through the entire value of 2 from poor Trader Max's YouTube channel. But that's what happens over at YouTube. Mr. Max's YouTube channel is a little tired over there, I think. All right. Well, we got Bitcoin Barbie back up from Holdex. Thanks a lot for being here. Everybody else, great. Let's we're going to bring out No Hat right now. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for being patient.
Hey, glad to be here again. It's always so good to be vibing with you guys. These streaming spaces are amazing, and it's always how do I say? I mean, it's just like a proof how diverse the space is. Always a place of learning as well about other communities, about other projects, and I completely resonate with what Professor from the lab project said. I mean, I'm definitely lacking some sleep, but this is what we do. We keep on grinding, we keep on building, and founders or devs of the project or lead CTOs, we need to keep the things rolling. And basically, what happened since last time when we were here was exactly that notion that we had to plan things better, plan things ahead, always with that idea in mind that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So we basically look at the market and like, okay, this is the right time. We are not in a rush, and we just like step back and try to do things the best we can, but with strategic plans, strategic steps, and again, something mentioned here before, to approach an idea of sustainable growth. No Hat is around for about 9 months. We are full CTO since December, when I took over to lead the CTO. It was obvious to me that I had to rebrand the whole concept of the project. And with that in mind, and I got to talk with some friends, and we created an NFT collection. I'm going to start sharing, if that's okay.
Yeah, no, please.
I think, yeah. There we go. So this NFT collection, we understand that dogs are man's best friend, and in that same sense, this idea of emotions, of loyalty, of the loyalty and love that dogs give us, we thought that okay, just let's do something completely different from what we have in the market. And what we did was, instead of relying on an AI generator, we actually approach a physical painter and ask him to paint us 2025 backgrounds. I wish, yeah, some here. So all of these backgrounds, I mean, the only thing I said to him was, crypto is obsessed with this idea of getting to the moon, and he came with this kind of spacey polka dots vibes, which we loved it. And then we had two more guys who work using Photoshop to work on the dog and on all of these different attributes with sick collection of shades, but again trying to create a brand that would be more fun, more engaging, more recognizable for young people, essentially, actually. And thinking like myself also as a DJ, I bring some DJs to partner with us. We started to collaborate and creating music tracks, and this NFT collection. So there's no repetition of the backgrounds. Also, there's no repetition on the combination of the attributes. Each one of them is unique in its own, and with the same mindset, we started to create music. As I said earlier, I approached some of my buddies, and the way we are doing it is pretty much the old school style, like early 2000 or 2010. We are using samplers and synthesizers, Ableton Live, creating it all, you know, like and sharing the samples. And as the DJs, we have this opportunity to actually test the tracks on the dance floor, see how the crowd reacts, if it needs to be, you know, remixed or not. And we are having a lot of fun in this process as well.
I can't wait. So once that does come out, are you going to start releasing music tracks and the value of music pretty soon?
Yeah. So we have two projects regarding the music. One is something that it's called, it will be a kind of a hip hop electro album, and I think, and we decided that would be that project would be called A Tribe Called No Hat, being inspired essentially by old school hip hop, like by bands like NWA and A Tribe Called Quest. It's actually where this comes from, and the other one we actually already have a SoundCloud for the DJ, and we are going to release DJ tracks also on Beatport. We are planning to start launching this actually everywhere. I mean, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, but you know, all of this. We are preparing to do that in March.
All right. Well, let's save some of that. I want to save some of that. I know we can go into a lot of stuff that you want to release, but I want to save some of that for the alpha portion of the show, so we can.
Okay. So just to end this portion. So the idea is actually for us to create something that will be engaging and approachable to different generations, and we are very, very, very touched because we received like 2 days ago this very, very cute invitation to be in a birthday party. So it's, and we were like, I mean, man, I was completely touched that actually like a child got, you know, laugh and understood the value of Noet, you know, this idea of freedom and you know, not being blinded by the ads that are trying to control us.
That is amazing. Anytime you get validation back from the industry is worth its weight in gold, because I think it's it's tough because the normie mentality isn't always in our face here at crypto. So it was good. It's good to see that. I read that earlier, so it was pretty cool. All right. Well, No Hat, thank you so much for coming out. You're one of the sponsors here today, or one of the panelists here today. And we have one more Shiller down below. Oh boy, did they leave? Bummer. I was trying to get to him fast. I'm sorry, buddy. There's some stuff going on. I don't know if it's not Twitter or what have you, but it's some people's systems are out there having a little bit of a problem today with the internet. I don't know. Maybe the market's down and the internet's down. That'd be really good. Maybe that's what we'll talk about in the chill portion. All right. So if we're waiting to see if that person comes back, we have our sponsor, Jay from Tire Dads today, here for a shill for Tire Dads. We appreciate Tire Dads being here today because we're great friends with Mac and everybody else over there. We love everybody over at the Tire Dad community. How you doing, Jay? How you holding up?
I'm holding up fairly well, considering the fact that I'm really tired, being for so many years already. Getting better at that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave quite a lot of stuff for the alpha portion, and I'm not gonna shill that much anything regarding us for right now. But a lot of things that all these projects right now in this specific show at this moment, a lot of the values seem to be very similar to ours, and every project represents of a certain group of people. But I think the core values are exactly the same, especially between the founders and the people that are representing here. And I was listening to these things. I was like absolutely amazed. When I came to the space first time, a little bit over 10 years ago, it used to be about that and only about that, building some great stuff and whatnot. And then we as a collective group of humans kind of drifted away from it. And lately I've been hearing so much more of these similar things from so many different projects that people are actually trying to build something for the greater good and for long term instead of running after money. And that's what I personally stand for, that it's not about the money. And Congress Dev Jesse said the same in a bit of different words. Professor said the same. It's not about the money. It's already personal. It's about everything else. And like, we stand for all the fathers in the world to create a space and environment and a place for the tired daddies to come to have a conversation, have a emotional support from one another. And that's what has kept me in the community throughout this whole time, and made me fall in love with the whole thing completely. And with a couple of people in there too, like, made really great connections in such a short time.
I think the real power, what you've grabbed onto with Tire Dads, is the same thing that happens with communities that just have a severe bond. It's not just about being a Tire Dad. It's a human being. It's a mentality of the man, right? And most of us that know what that feels like. It doesn't take anything away from exhausted moms or what have you. But I had a tired father growing up because he was in the military and a tired stepdad. I wish he got tired of kicking my ass every once in a while, but being the group, the sons of tired dads, is also something that's relative to there. So I always appreciate this perspective that you guys have over there.
Yeah, and we are like we are not a meme coin. and we're more like a community token.
Mhm.
And what we are actually trying to build here is to, like, as delusional it might sound to some people that are in the space, but we have a lot of ambitions, and we believe in what we stand for, and we're actually trying to build a global brand that
Mhm.
echoes throughout the whole world. And currently we're in discussions with multiple um, bigger influencers and marketers and promoters from Asia, because there has to be a lot of tired fathers there too.
I
And
hope so.
well, yeah,
If there's
kind
any
of.
country that doesn't have any fathers, man, I don't know. That's going to be tough. If they're not tired,
Yeah.
then they got to share the secret. I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's true. And
All
we
right, so
really want to be able to reach the whole planet, and
I think
that's
that,
what
that
we're
I
building
think
for.
that's something you're already doing. I don't think this show is restricted to just the United States and other things that you're doing. So I think you have such a potential with that. All right, so I want to make sure that we share some stuff for Alpha. I appreciate you being here today. This is a sponsored show by Tired Dads, and I want to make sure you get plenty of time to be able to talk about that. But we also want to get into, I think, was that the last Shill there, Mr. Quinton? Was there anybody else down below? I think we got everybody up top. Fortunately, I think Barbie finally got tired of trying to come back in and out, so we've lost her.
We got everyone who's in.
Okay. Thank you, Jay, for contributing to that. We're going to get started. I'm going to start bringing up some others. We got the professor. We got a few others. We're going to bring up Murad down from below as well. Wait 1 second. No, at that point, I think that's all we can do right there for right now. The concept here in today's show, right now we hit 1,167 people. We're doing well. The numbers are doing good. I'm going to take a quick screenshot for prosperity. We're going to put that in our link. We use all this for advertising and marketing later on as well. Simply enough, 252, 287, 477. Lots of great numbers happening today. And we're getting the word out there. Make sure that you share and retweet and get all your stuff out there. We're about to jump into the next portion of our show, which is our chill portion. And our chill portion today, Mr. Quinton, did you happen to you bring any service to life?
Yes,
I like
sir.
that. I like how you worded it. If you could bring any service to life, what would it be? Now, let's detail this just a little bit, right? Now, I'm not talking like escort services. Come on, let's go, right? But hey, whatever, Oh, honey, I got to go to work again. See you later. Whatever. I got to build it. I'll build it. Whatever. Swimsuit model detection service. I don't know. Whatever you can think of in this world. Now, here's a couple of caveats, right? One, it should be something that's going to directly benefit your community or your coin or your life. Quality of life doesn't matter. You want to push a button, be able to, change all the colors on your website, whatever. You want systems for building websites be easier. You want whatever it is you may think of. And I know that a few have had some really good statements that we've made. I don't even know where to begin to start. I think what we'll do is we'll go down to the Shillers first. And we'll bring up here. 1 second. I got to escape out of that banner. Let's bring up Monk first in the process. Is there anything that you can think of, like what would make you? It's just a couple of seconds here, 30 seconds, 40 seconds of anything you've been maybe thinking of, or you see the market going towards. You there, Monk?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Awesome. Honestly, it's quite interesting, right? Like you see a bunch of celebrities and politicians, even countries now launching tokens. So it's weird because when you go in a bunch of alpha groups, you'll see a lot of FUD like, oh, it's over, it's all over, our bags are done, But
yeah.
And when you kind of look at the normie scene, like I got a text message from my sister like 2 days ago, like, hey, do you know what Phantom Wallet is? And I was like, wow, that's crazy. So honestly, I just see the future of the space just lies in tokenization, right? We just don't know what that tokenization looks like whether community or meme tokens are going to fly with American or let's say Western regulators. So I'm just excited to see like the world get tokenized,
So, but what do you think about the big thing for the chill portion today? What do you think the space needs right now? Like, if you had an idea, like just like, hey, I think that this should be, in the space right now for what we need for us to progress quality of life or whatever. Is there anything like just in the last week or so you've gone, man, if we had ... fill in the blank?
I wish I had something physical,
Right,
but
right,
it's
right.
more like I wish there was more understanding in the space. Like I wish people
Education.
knew, yeah, education. Like I
Okay.
wish people knew what backed by one-to-one backed to American dollar actually meant. Like I wish people knew what token total supply or max supply actually meant. Like I feel like these things are super important for your average guy coming into the space to learn.
So the concept of education is a tough one, right? Because there is the internet. It's unfortunate. It's like trying to take a drink from a fire hydrant, right? You're going to get some information, but it's not always going to be good. And there's some shit in fire hydrants. I don't know if you guys know. Don't drink from fire hydrants. Don't be silly. But the concept here is it is just that. It's so overwhelming. You get something, but it's always backed by something. I think along that education, if I were to piggyback off of that, would be white labeled education, right? So other people can use in their environment to give their people, because it's always hard to, that we see this stuff out there. Like I put out my own personal education series. I don't just use stuff off the internet because I know it always has some sort of backing to it. So I think people that just want to educate and build. So if there was something that I would build right now, in which we already sort of have an education series up, I just don't put it out everywhere. But I think you're right. We need to have this, and in our network, we have something for that, and that can be easily done. But it's so hard in this industry because things are changing so much, right? The new scams, the new things, like these things need to be like, we need to have like an Associated Press just for crypto, right? Like nothing but full-time coverage. So I think that's something that we'll look at, like press coverage of education and what should be done at that point. So thank you very much for contributing to that. I like that concept. Thanks, Mark.
For sure. Anytime. Maybe someone could do a learn to earn model. I don't think that's been done before.
There is a few things that are out there like Coinbase, but yeah, we actually have a few people, like we've already put some stuff together for that, and using DPay and other things, then you can use that same earnings to buy things from the charts and all that kind of stuff. We are waiting for a lot of stuff to release, but yes, this is something that we do have with our WebForge and our Panther Pilot network, which is pretty strong.
That's super cool. I'll be on there.
Yeah. All right. So next, let's just jump right over to labs. What do you think? Again, you guys got some great, the sleep deprivation thing. I love it. I mean, like you're looking past just the mental capacity is alone. That ramification of the mental capacity is huge for sleep. What else do you see in and again, you're a builder as well. So I know like I don't want you to give away any trade secrets because I'm going to try to build something. But what do you think is something that could be generally used in this industry right now?
Oh man, this is such a great question. I've been thinking about this a lot, and I was like, at some point I might build this, but please build it. Like if you can. So I went down the rabbit hole of how do you build credibility right now and basically reputation, and if you're launching a project. We're still in an age where likes, comments, retweets, they all matter. It's all first impression, perception, from any investor. So like any project, one of the biggest struggles that you're going to encounter, especially after you've say the hype cycle is over, how do you keep your community engaged? Yeah. And we have tried like these rate to earn bots. I've hired now, oh my goodness, 5 to 7 raid teams originally, and we have a fantastic raid team. We actually have a full-time raid manager, but it's expensive. And if you think about like every project literally that exists on Solana, if you were to talk to the devs, I am certain all of them would encounter the same problem. It's like, hey, we're putting out great content. We're trying to really build something special here. Come on, community. Like I need some engagement here. And what I've concluded is no matter what you're doing, especially in the first, year of building, it's really difficult to gain traction on the engagement side of things. Now, of course, you'll have like hype periods, but those hype periods will die down. So how do you fix this? And I think that there is a massive, massive opportunity to leverage a network of AI agents that you can deploy for projects, where the AI agents basically, you know, they all have their own personalities. You can program them however you want. And then that becomes like a subscription-based model for communities, for devs that, you know, you can implement. And if that existed right now, like Instabuy, because I know it'd be cheaper than like a manual rate team with people in mostly third world countries. So that's where I'm at.
No, that's a great concept. So this is a very valued process, right? Like, what is too much automation? Which too much AI integration? And where does the human elements, imagination come into play? This is almost like, hey, I have a problem, Mr. Fix-It, come out and help with that. As strategy, and again, I'm a strategist. I was a world strategist for Forex, the derivative market. I worked at TradingView as an indicator specialist for 4 years, building traction and technical analysis for world countries at that point. So in my value of what we look at here is that you keep it sweet and simple, right? And so let's look at that for a second. You talk about AI agents, and I'm going to share just this real quick screen share. HugoByte, right? Now, this is a company that the main programmer and I are building the Shogun system, right? So this is the network. This is the launchpad system that I'm referring to when I talk about the pump fund stuff. But him and I, we built some programs and systems together and started to talk about this process alone. Man, it's very unusual that all this comes to a reason. And there's some magical way that is every single show we in this portion, I take something that all of you contribute and I make content with. So let's talk about that for a second. Content generation and the attraction of the shill, or the hype, as you refer to it. We said this a couple of shows ago, that conversation is currency. And if you think about what content is, it's just a conversation. It's a conversation that you have, whether it's visual, it's written, it's voiceovered, it's whatever it is, but it's still currency. And what that currency tells people is like, hey, look at me. We're building this. We have this. It's information exchange. AI agents can be utilized in that process as long as it have directive. Just to throw a bunch of information out there, like, you know, you got that one friend, right, that goes gets an AI agent and builds or an imagery maker, and he goes, look at this great stuff that I just made because I create a prompt in, right? When does the artistic value meet the value that goes out there? When does it become ad blindness, right? Because everybody has the next new thing. But what we're building and what we're structuring right now from this mentality of how can we help? Shark has a good one. There was ATM, Bank ATM had a raid network that was a pay to raid. Shark has a pay to raid. There's a handful of other ones that have paid to raid systems that gets the human element involved. But there is coming some AI stuff that we're not involved in, but I'll try to figure out. But what I would love to see is interaction and the engagement back, like the data that's being carried. Like, you're big on data as well. So being able to have that data set, like, here's a group of people, it'll ask the groups questions. It'll say, okay, where are you at? What you're doing? What are your links to your Twitter accounts? So those things, conglomerate all that and utilize, just like something that we do here in the show every time. When you panelists come on, we ask you to put your stream in, right? And when you do so, that data comes back to us in the value of viewership, which people, there's 1,242 people that are watching right now. But if I only was doing this myself, I would only have 503. So the conglomeration here is, how do we share that amongst the entire network, that not just one community survives from it, but how can we take it overall and apply that AI ship to it, to where it can augment to know, hey, this is a community coin, or hey, this is a meme coin, and apply it to that, because there's not one size fits all. And that is collection of data. So if there is something that I would contribute is to have a rating network or a content delivery system, because rating and knowing where to rate is only one part of the problem. What to rate and how to respond and what to deliver, content delivery. We had a social integration network in our social planning system in our WebForge network, and it was destroyed with Twitter because Twitter changed their API to be more exclusive instead of inclusive. And it cost a lot of money to keep that running at the higher levels. So we have to kind of figure out how else can we do this now. And AI integration is going to be that. I'm going to be teaming with Hugo Byte to kind of create this margin. But again, if as I'm looking to build this, that's something that is tougher to build because you need a lot of data for it to be done right. Anybody can just fill the hole, but you got to do it right. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. My goodness, like you guys are the perfect team to build this. Like I'm so pumped.
Yeah, we're very excited about it because one, we're graphic designers. I'm video building. There's this show here. There is 1,000, like I've done 10,000 at least, learning systems in the network. We have the SaaS network. We have all these things. We got programmers, but again, you can only build so much at so little, right? With so many people. And I look forward to, I'm going to reach out to you and talk to you and your team about some of the data you have to help you progress as well with us and try to share in that data and share in that process to help further you out as well. Alliances and collaborations are very powerful as well, as long as they're maintained, right? So that's the big thing. We can promise the world, but you can't even give the backyard. It doesn't really work out, right? So, but you guys, I love this because I've met a lot of great people so far. In fact, I have to make for me now to make a calendar just so I can talk to people on a outside the show basis, right? The best way to get a hold of me is through the show, unfortunately. But thank you, Labs, for contributing. I see that a RAID system and content delivery. We're going to put that into the conversation that we'll end here today with. But thank you.
Hey, great stuff. Yeah, look forward to connecting outside the show as well.
Yeah, absolutely. No Hat, what do you got, buddy? You got anything that you think like the industry may need right at the moment?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Going along with the same lines of what you guys were saying about rates, one of the things that we find most difficult and most annoying at the same time, and it's time consuming, is to filter out all the scammers and the spam. I mean, I know, say we can use Safeguard or Rose or whatever, but it doesn't take everything. So if you could have like an AI agent or a bot that could actually, read all the data and filter them out immediately, they don't need to, post and we need to delete and all of that things. That would be huge.
This is a great
really
idea.
annoying.
Scam filtering and exclusion. One of the things that's funny because it's almost like a contest of whack-a-mole, right? We had this thing in our Shogun TG called the Scammer Hammer, right? So anytime somebody would show in and they would do that, you bring out the Scammer Hammer, and then it was MC Hammer's "Don't Touch This" theme song that was playing. It was a lot of fun, and we made light of it. But man, it is probably the most time-consuming thing. Now you got filters that you can already do. You can make your account that nobody can DM you because you got premium, but you got to pay for that stuff. TG botting is not a difficult thing, especially like with Rose and the help of Safeguard and other things like that to keep the majority of them out. But they still get there. They still find you. And even in Twitter and other things that they're messaging you, I probably get about 30 messages a day in Twitter, and I probably get 100 a day in the network for TG, which is terrible, right? Like, how do you get rid of that? I see that as a good process to have because it'll alleviate that and maybe even filter in those that aren't scammers, right? Like create a conversation with them to find out, even simply, hey, DMing them and saying, hey, did you mean that you need to talk to this person for this? What is this referring to? It's this. It's almost like a gatekeeper, right? Like I could put my sister-in-law into it and she could like filter out everything it is of that person and to give her something to do because she's an asshole. But, but there is this mentality that is like I'll give you an example. Somebody wrote into my TG about a month ago and they said, I need to speak to the owner about something very important. And of course, that's so vague, right? Like, 50% chance a scammer, the other 45% probably legitimate. No, maybe about 1% legitimacy at that point, right? So at that level, it's like, but unfortunately, he got scammer hammered. And he goes, hey, man, I was calling about the show. I needed to know about it. I wanted to do a sponsorship. And it's like, oops, you know. So I think the validation has to be there, even if not. And if it is, then what's the reaction, right? The reaction would be not just, and again, if we made this spot, keeping it collabed amongst everything. Now imagine this, right? Imagine the collab of that being put and attached, and they leave you. You block them, right? Like you block them. Yay! It gives them a block. It gives them a scammer thing, a tag for a second, but it doesn't immediately block them from everybody's stuff, right? So a blacklist then mentality, right? Think about that. They come in,
exactly.
they get punched, and then they go off to some other coin, and they're like, "Hey, by the way," and maybe they get tricked. Maybe at that point they get in. But this would prevent them be like, hey, you've been shoguned or whatever it would be, right? You're not allowed in here because you've been tagged as a scammer, you know, whatever. But they really got to be involved at that point. But that would be probably a good concept to be a scam filtering exclusion with blacklist.
We do have one bot that actually tell us the user number and when people change their names, which is immediately a sign. Hold on,
an alias.
Something is gonna happen here. So, but, and I mean, some you know immediately from what they are saying, or like you can spot them, right? But still, it's time consuming, man. It's way too much time to be taking care of this when you can use that time being more constructive.
There was and the other is just the straight out invalidation of people that are coming in that want something more, you know, and how do you deal with that? I would almost say like a pre-filter to a lot of what they say. But thank you, Nohat, for that makes a great position and value, and I see that everybody's giving some great ideas. Speaking of great ideas, I know he's going to have some. Jesse, what do you got for us, man? What are you thinking?
Hey, man, I just want to go ahead and let everybody laugh on the panel. Can I get $20? I'll shill your stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, I'll send it right over to you. Do you mind taking no hat coin for that?
Oh, no, listen, that's one of the other things is like you give these people your coins and then, I mean, it's automatically just giving away your liquidity from your actual holders. And that's something that we had to face a lot, you know, in Congress is, do we actually want to pay out of our pockets, which we do. It's a lot easier to just, I'd rather pay you in Solana. I'd rather pay you USDT, whatever you want besides Congress coin. Now, if you want longevity with us, absolutely, that's the difference. But how do you rule that out?
Yeah.
I want to touch base with something that Lab said and an automation with rating. So one of our developers is a Google engineer, and he created our AEO and our SEO. And so we tried to automate this. And the problem that we have is Elon. We love you, Elon, but Elon doesn't like automation at all. And so he definitely curbs your enthusiasm, you know, that for lack of a better term, when it comes to that. So I think it's really just building that community. It's that long-term growth, that organic growth that you just have to keep pushing, reassuring with daily VCs or spaces, you know, getting involved with different communities. And one of the things that I think that we could bring a service to life is with us being a holder base, like that's what our whole project is for holders. It's not for Jeeters. You know, if you come and Jeet, cool. Like, but you're just paying a tax for no reason. It's stupid. Like you might as well just go and jump in someone else's project you're not going to get taxed for. But games and different ways to actually pay people for playing or staying engaged with the community, because I grew up as an athlete my whole life. And, you know, one of the developers, you know, he has, you know, an athletic business. And everybody that knows anything about athletics is there's competition. And with competition, it breeds a whole different element to, you know what I mean, your psychology. And you know, being involved in mixed martial arts, that you know exactly what I'm talking about. Your son knows exactly what I'm talking about. And when you want to win, you go fucking hard. You know, sorry for swearing, but you know,
no, that's all right. You're allowed to.
You know,
it's not a fucking family show. Let me tell you that right now.
Well, listen, dude, you guys are gonna love me and my TC or my TG that I, you know, fuck shit ass bitch. You know, that's all that comes out of my mouth. But no, the concept that I think would be cool is because we tried the raiders, pay to raid. That's cool, but really, you're gonna see like 10, 15 people that are getting paid over and over and over. And it's those same 10, 15 people that are, you know, going to get paid. And you don't want to show favoritism to anybody, because the whole purpose is to create a larger holder base that's more organic, where people are going to be involved and stay, just like any of the big cap projects that we've all seen, you know, throughout the years. So with someone, like yourself, Max, that, any of the other coders, anybody else that's programming, I think that creating some type of like a high score game, and I know you guys know there's the TG games and stuff, and you can, like, I'm not shilling Hamster Combat, all right, but something like that, where they created something that you get paid for interacting. You don't have to interact all day, every day. Maybe you're at, UK time, maybe you're at, US time. Like, I'm in Ohio on the East Coast of the United States. So I love 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's great for me, with 2 kids and, running a business. I own a hardscape business myself. So I like to compete. Some of the things that I like to compete are in things that I do, so my competition is other builders, just with my hands versus, my fingers, if you will.
Yeah.
And I think that if we were able to implement something that's simple, like there's this game Corsehairs that anybody can download. Just go to the @GameBot, go and check it out. It's pretty cool. I think like 90% of our members have tried to get a fucking high score, and people are pretty good at that game. I'm not going to lie. We've held competitions. We've given away Congress for stuff like that. And that was really good. So I think that if we were able to find things that are like, I don't know, top 10 games, if you implement those into your TG sites or pages, that you can essentially hook up a marketing wallet to it, and the people that hit those high scores, maybe they get paid out, and that's going to make participation. So even if they're not dead ass involved every single day in your project, like, listen, someone can own Lab, someone can own Tired Dad, someone can own, No Hat, someone can own Congress, and essentially people in this fucking space. And listen, people could own Shogun. I'm not going to leave you guys out.
Please don't.
Yeah, no, never
I'm going to
that.
build this now. So.
And so I think that, being able to be involved with these type of communities and interacting, we could all be like, oh man, I got the highest score out of all the Lab guys, but I can't beat fucking Congress's KP. This guy's a monster. Blah, blah, blah. Just creates more camaraderie between us, because we all have the same goal and intention at the end of the day. It's to make money. Let's be realistic. Let's call the elephant in the room. But we're all trying to go against all those ruggers and all those scammers that are just fucking pumping and dumping. And do we see Dave Portnoy? We see all these celebrities. Yeah, I mean, come on. Like, these guys are morons, and they're making our space.
Everybody knows the rules.
Yeah, So I mean, that's so with Congress, one of the biggest things is, how do you get organic growth? That's one of the reasons we had the Google engineer jump on board. It's one of the reasons we do the AEO and the SEO, because we think about our real businesses. I'm sure that you have a website that has an AEO and an SEO for your businesses. Most people do. So why wouldn't we implement the same things? And I mean, you could spin it any different way that you want to. And that's the beauty of all of our collective minds being able to jump on this. Is, you're going to hear this, from Tired Dad, you're going to hear this from Lab, I'm going to hear this from Shogun. And, we can keep coming back and say, hey, this worked. This fucking sucked, Jesse. That idea you had was fucking awful. And
oh, no. So here's what I got for you so far, right? Because I always like these things, because we put them together and then we reiterate. So I make sure that we got the strength of it. A game universal network competition system that's more about the leadership boards, that's all inclusive, not just to a single community, but multiple communities.
Absolutely.
I love that idea, because I'm a game dev. I've built maybe 15 different games, 2 of them halfway successful, fun. But we just, I was in a game jam a couple of weeks ago, and that's a game jam, is where they give you an idea, you go, hey, go build this and see how fast you can build. It was an 8-hour game jam. And so I went and I created this coin drop system for our, I got the 3 hours through, and then I went squirrel, and I had something else to go do. I came back, did another 5 hours and finished it. I didn't win the competition because I didn't finish it in their time frame. It was not 8 hours for me overall. It was 8 hours in their time frame. So I didn't win, but I did participate. And I got favorable mention because it was addictive just to try to get to the rule of it. And I don't have a leadership board system in it, and I didn't monopolize on that, but I released it through the community, and it became like this little quick, just like a little fun little thing. It wasn't something super huge, but it was enough that they had attention in it. And there was a process in there. I'll show you what it looks like. I'm not trying to brag or anything. So
no, brag, dude, brag. Say it with your chest, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, right. There's if I go to the games portion, we built this like just little quick. And again, it's just if I bring it out, it's coming in, it's just, and it's our coins imagery. It's right. Some of our PFPs are in this, and it's all just about getting to the high score. right? And one thing that we made it very difficult to do is to get to the if I go back and I hit refresh, you'll see it in there. Is to get to that red coin. This is one of our coins that you see in our PFPs that are up on top of our skull when you do that. And my son's in and he goes, man, I said, it's almost impossible to get there. I told my son Quentin, it's almost impossible. And this kid spent a lifetime and a half trying to get to it. And he writes me, he goes, I got to it. And
yeah,
it was like,
got it.
I
was waiting.
Yay for you. Yeah. But what he didn't realize is that that's the intent of it, was
He
to
tricked
have
me.
fun. I tricked you. But the engagement that he had in there, this could have been anything. And I only put 8 hours into this, right? We also have the other faction of our network is building our game for what we call the Shogun. And this is where all of our PFPs come to life. This is the let me just kind of show you where he's in there beating up the bad guys. And the bad guys for us are bugs, right? So the competitioners and the bugs are the shammers and scammers that are out there. We put that together because that's a place where you buy your land to be a part, and all the coins that we meet with in our places here are able to utilize that system. And that's a shameless shill right there, or shill for our game coming. But I am with you on the fact that leadership boards, competition, powerful. I see this as something that's going to be in our arsenal. We're bringing on more programmers. If you got people that are game devs, if you're watching this and you're a game dev, you should be writing me and talking to me and getting into this concept. I'm looking to put together a coalition of people that are from game devs, leadership board, TG builders, all of it. If you guys or anybody else knows of anybody, let's put a collaborative together, because this is not going to just benefit Shogun. This is not to benefit Max. This is not just to benefit Jesse.
All of it.
Everybody. And when we change that environment, everybody succeeds. You know, the scam filtering system, the raid content delivery. Yes, we can actually, there's things that we can do. One person paying for the API for that costs about $4,000 a month. But imagine that being split over 40 communities, that everybody gets to use that. You see what I'm saying? So I'm willing to build these things and structure them and strategize them and put them together. I built hundreds of MVPs. I built hundreds of little mini micro businesses along the way. I've only had 5 multi-million-dollar businesses, but I've had the hot dog carts. I've owned a restaurant. You know, I've been the sous chef and the executive chef in my own restaurant. You know, I've been these things because I'm just addicted to building, you know. But in this concept, I love the game idea. I love that concept.
Yeah, I want to throw money. I want to throw money at you, man. You know what I mean? Not like a stripper or like Diddy or anything like that.
Hey, I would take money as a stripper right now, because I will build for stripping. I will make it happen. You'll hear some stuff later. That was so lame. I was like, what the fuck is this? A Carlton? I don't know what that is. The concept here, man, is I appreciate the idea. I appreciate the love there. I want to reach out to you afterwards and talk to you.
For sure.
Because I think we got some great stuff. But last but not least, Mr. Quentin is going to come out too after Tire Dads. Now, I know Jay from Tire Dads has an idea, because we talked backstage, and I love this concept, and I want to hear from him directly on, because you sent me, boy, once you tell Shane from Outreach about it, he's gonna hit me every day until it's done. So you let the world know, Jay, what the idea was.
Yeah, I will, and I'll keep banging Shane's DMs, because you're hard to reach. So I just send him some DMs, so he sends them to you. It makes it a lot easier for me. Yeah. So since the space is filled with scammers and untrustworthy people, especially when it comes to marketing and KOLs and whatnot, and majority of the people, they ask payments in advance, and I'd like to change that in the space. And I think a great way to do that is to set up a third-party escrow wallet that operates in a way that the party that pays sends Solana or Ethereum, whatever token it is, into the wallet, and it is programmable in a way and connected to the blockchain that, in example, we can set up a parameter that whenever the token reaches a certain market cap, let's say 1 million, and stays above that 1 million market cap for an hour or two, whatever we choose to set on the wallet. After that happens, it will automatically release the payment to the designated wallet, which is going to be the KOL's wallet. It would make it a lot easier for an example founder to start a project and gather a couple of KOLs and go through all these things beforehand and set all the Solana or Ethereum into the wallet, and everybody would know that they need to help to push and build the project in order for them to unlock the payment. And it would be fair for all the parties, because a lot of people, they promise that, yeah, we can deliver it, especially like I try to talk to everybody who offers some services, because I want to build network and find the good people. So I have like 100 people in my DMs every single day. And there are people who promise that, okay, you pay us $1,000, we can bring you 500 new holders and inflow of money above $50,000.
Right.
So, and then
do you have anybody of those that worked out?
Not from the people who tell that kind of big numbers.
Yeah.
But there are, like, I have found recently a couple of good ones who actually provided a lot of data that they track how many buys they have, and they know their target audience that they're gonna send the CAs. So they're fairly accurate with what they can offer. And I would like to see the whole space change towards a lot more professional approach when it comes to that.
Yeah, and this is a good one to talk about, because the biggest relationship with Coles is that they have an opportunity to bring you a lot of people. But here's what happens with a lot of Coles, and some of you can kind of come out and talk about this. There's a couple different ways that they can bring you the eyes on the prize. They could do a call, right? And where they talk to their TG or their people and their network, and they say, listen, this is a new up and coming, here's what we're going to do. Now, most of them, when they do that, they also seed the chart, right? And we all know what seeding of a chart looks like. It comes out that they throw money at it. It's like, if you came to me and said, hey, Max, help me find gold. And I take a pocket full of gold and I throw it over on the floor and I go, oh, look, gold. And you all go over and go, oh, there's gold there. And you grab up the gold, right? And then it's off to the side you go, right? And then everybody else buys in and does whatever. And then they sell it off, right? I love your pantomimes. You just got to be on the show just for do the pantomimes. But that's where like seeding the chart, and then it's like, oh, look what happened. It went up because I called it. But really it went up because they invested in it, right? And that happens quite a bit. And the proof's in the pudding is in the eating, as they say, right? There's a relative term from over in England. And the mentality is with that you have this relationship with Coles. Like, you can't trust, like, are they going to do the work? Are they going to do the call? Will it increase? And they all have this expectation of success. So I would say an intermediate network based upon success is obtainable as long as it's devised and validated through a smart contract process. And we can do that, right? So we can create a system to where the two parties agree and say, okay, this money now cannot be taken out unless these parameters are met. And then you have to have a time basis to be able to pull it out. Who's going to be responsible? What fees are going to be paid? Who's going to pay the fees, or what have you? You have to have a third party involved in that process, an intermediary, not just something mechanical, because anything can happen, right? Where something gets missed here or something gets missed there and things are not made or what have you, and then return policies and all that. This can be done, but I love this idea because it gives people an opportunity to hold the feet to the fire on those that promise you the world but can't even give you the backyard. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think that's something that we can dive into, even having AI inclusion into looking at the validation. Has there been an increase? Because sometimes market cap can go up and then Solana goes down or something else goes down and it takes away from that value. So there could be like all these little setting factors, but I think it has to be quickly evaluated. Was like an increase, as you know, with anything on the internet, everything's traceable. You know, where did somebody come from a link? to your site. Like you can give them a special UTM link, right? Like you guys in Google, he'll knows what a UTM link is, you know, and that link is given to a KOL and they click on it. If the UTM score is this value or higher, you know, I sent 10,000 people, because a cold can send 10,000 people to your coin, but your coin shit, right? So that could be another big value. Like, what is the response value of how many people are going to, or the traffic that they're sending could be shit. Like there's all these different values that you can get into. Again, it comes down to data. It comes down to that perspective of networking.
Can I add one more thing? Because I love the concept of, you know, the community growth and, you know, also trying to grasp like organic holders, you know, and that's one of the things that, you know, we can see all the Google results. We can see everything that works. We could see that we're getting 5,000 hits a day on our website, but how do you graduate someone from going to your website to figuring out what the fuck fandom is? What is a fandom? I don't know how to do that. So, I mean, you know, creating the easiest possible point A to point B, you know, to create the sale, if you will, because that's what we are as developers, is we're salesmen for our own business, you know, and so it's how do we go ahead and do that? And I think that that's a big gray area that all of us face, is because the normies is where the money is. We're already here. We're already here. But
our show on Tuesday had this as the proper, like, is the normies market valuable, and what is the investment of it? And let me tell you right now, there is Paul Chain and Prevail and other ones that have like third-party values that go in and do a lot of stuff to bring normies to a one-click option. But there is one that I'm very excited. It's called On-Chain Labs, and I want you to have a look at them. They're a huge network that's dealing with, because anybody can kind of create a third-party loophole wormhole system.
Yeah.
But they're actually getting the all the regulations done. They're fighting. They're over in Europe. They're fighting with all that stuff. They're getting stuff here in the United States, and they're doing the big fight. Like they're doing the long term, like, you know, onboarding, offboarding. Like everybody can bring on, but nobody's giving us offboarding options.
Yeah,
right?
You're just stuck.
Yeah. You know, oh, I got you into the club, but now you're in a prison cell down in the basement. You know, exactly. That's a little too far there on that one, but that's okay. Because it's more like,
right. I was doing the Trump dance, man. My bad.
Yeah, it's way over there.
Yeah.
I don't know where that hand went, by the way. No, I love this. So I do see your value in there, right? But again, with the cold situation, there is an integrational system that we can kind of create, like a handshake, if you will. This is what we did with Pump Fund. We've actually attached to their smart contract. And then it validates us with a handshake. And that was not easy, by the way. There was a lot of work that went into that, and people just don't realize how much it goes into. All right. Thanks, Jesse. I appreciate the inclusion there. We will definitely be looking at dealing with, and I'm going to leave that for the big guys, right? For me, I'm dealing with some of this stuff here. Mr. Quinton, in final, what do you have? I know that you guys always some great ideas. You're my last name, so you happen to get that idea stream that runs over your head, unfortunately.
You know, I'm new to the W3 space, so I've always, my whole life, always been a W2. So I was trying to think this whole time about what's a good, like, big thing. I couldn't get a good answer for W3, but because all of my ideas are just in W2, you know, like, because working with a team, I love the idea of, like, every coin has something that they're constantly building for. But one of the things that I'm always hitting my head on is time zones and availability. You know what I mean? So it's like, I always think of small tools, like maybe like a time zone availability planner or something like that. But actually, right as I was going into it, Congress, you stole my idea. Such perfect timing, that last little bit, because I was like, well, I said it last time that imagine a game, because every single video game out there has some sort of their own currency that is used in towards that. Imagine just an easier way to get into crypto, to be able to use crypto inside of those secondary services on game platforms, services, like genuine services.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, but then that would be the main problem. But Congress, that would, like, I really do think that being able to mainstream getting into crypto, having a wallet, like even now I go to a store, I can forget my wallet at home. I have Apple Pay, you know, on my phone, and I just ding it in right there. Something like that, to be able to mainstream it to normies on that next level retail market.
Yeah, that's the tough part, because the legalization of it is one thing. The banking system, like On-Chain Labs was telling me all about their AAH system, their bank system. in there, and which is the number that's on checks and stuff and the validation there. They're in getting a lot of stuff for that. I'm not worried about the normalization of crypto to the normies, if you said, but gaming right up the alley, like having the availability, because most crypto people are gamers in some sort of way or another, whether it's Apple or what have you. I stay away from the onboarding on gameplay stuff. I just try to make, mobile responsive games. I don't try to go through Apple or Android, because Android's easy, but Apple, man, they want their finger right in the hole. It's like the whole fist in. I'm going to pull your tonsils out from your butthole kind of mentality. So there is, but gaming, we're right up the alley here. We're all speaking the same language. And I want you to see something today, right? There wasn't a single one of you that came up with an idea that wasn't not just community-wide, but industry-wide, right? To involve everybody, conglomerate the information together. From integration to a success validator for intermediate for calls, the gaming network, scam filtering with the blacklist, that's all community connected, raid content delivery and data sets, educational series. Nobody was in there like, how can I make my bag bigger? Right? Because you all know that the result of having something that's built, that's needed, right? What's the mother invention? Necessity, right? What's necessary now? When we built the Anvil bot and the Tsunami bot, we knew that the necessity was they want to control their wallet. They want to have keys to the wallet, not your keys, not your wallet. They wanted to be able to control the time, and they didn't want to have to pay exorbitant numbers up front. They wanted to be able to get the data, get the volume, and be charged for volume. And those three things I made in that Tsunami bot. When I created the Anvil bot, they wanted to control the ratio. They wanted to be more of a market maker. They wanted to have effect to the chart. And the only way you could do that is by physically making trades to the chart that are real, that stay, that have a lifetime. And we created that. We created that Anvil bot for that reason. And now that it's all there, we did that because we just had conversation with people. Now today marks the day. Today's the 13th of February. There's 1,300 people watching the show right now. And we're going to take on and build some great things. Now, as a thanks to all of you, everybody that was here, I've earmarked your names inside of our system. As we build this stuff out, I want to have shows with each one of you as we build things. Invite you all back to those shows to say, remember when. Now, remember, this is the day it starts. Okay. And I'm keeping this to a trueness. I don't sell sizzle, right? I never sell sizzle. And I'll even take this into the alpha later on for something else that we're putting out here very shortly. But I don't build sizzle. So if I say it's in the marks to be built, it's on the charts. And there's 2 of them on here that are definitely right now. So this is my promise to all of you and your time today. All right. I want to thank all of you for taking your time out of your day. Of course, this is not over. We got one more portion. So stick your ass around. We got the alpha portion. All right. As everybody knows, this network is all about trust and inclusion and trying to help as many people as possible reach their idea of success. But what is, I don't know why I put that one up there, but what is success is just the constant world of building. And we have some great people down below. Now, I know I got to drop Professor down. I think, because you did share your screen. I did let you in for the chill portion. For this side, if you do have some alpha that you have that is within 2 weeks, I'm only going to give you about 30, 40 seconds, 50 seconds, maybe even a minute to do it, because we are coming to the top of our hour and I want to spend more time with our panelists. So I'm going to go through it again. I'm going to bring out Monk first. If you don't have alpha with us firing in next week, that's okay. Content, it's business as usual, right? That's all you got to say. What do you got, Monk? You got anything that's coming out in the next 2 weeks?
Oops, sorry, I was on mute.
That's
yes,
okay.
we do actually. So we mentioned our artist earlier. So our artist is currently working on a new website. So hopefully that website will be out within 1 week's time.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, just so we can kind of match the likes of Mumu and Ponky and have a beautiful website.
When that fires off, please put your name in the system to come in and pop in and let us know that your new site's up. Come back and do another show with us and let us know and show us the new site when it comes out and you're ready. It's ready to fire.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much as well. I'm going to drop you down below at this time. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you being here today.
Anytime.
Great job. Professor, what do you got? You got anything in 2 weeks coming?
We got some alpha cooking. Mentioned a little bit of this when I initially spoke, but just to expand upon it a little bit. So we have solidified various partnerships with large players in the Web2 sleep space. We're going to be announcing our first next week. We also are going to be working with them to give giveaways, and it's going to be a wearable. Hint, hint. Our website is going to be launching as well. We're going to be launching what we call the Snoozeverse. I'll be sharing some information there when it is ready. And we're going to be launching our first push on the PR media side of things to really start building our traction from an online branding and reputation standpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. As you get into those releases, please let us know. Try to get some space on the show. We can even do, it's not just about the Shogun GunSho. We have an entire network too, that we can do shows as well. So you can spend a couple bucks, sponsor a show, or you can have your own show in the process. And I can divulge an entire time for any major releases. That goes for anybody here too. If you're watching too, and you want to release something, you got a big release party, a launch something happening, something big happening. We don't mind bringing in and sharing the wealth with our history, because we are about community inclusion. So remember that everything we do is always about helping as many communities find their idea of success there as well. But thanks for Professor for being here. I can't wait to see the studies and sleep stuff, because I suffer with PTSD, even all the years I've been in and out of the military. After 16 years in the Navy, I've had my fair share of things that I sometimes believe like this is the dream and that's the reality, unfortunately. And when I wake up and I see my wife, I say, thank God that it wasn't a dream and that she is real, because in that place that I go to is not a good place. But I do appreciate you being here and sharing with your community who we are.
Yeah, thank you so much to everybody here. And then last piece, just because I think it's really exciting, we are set to run the largest sleep study for the crypto space in history. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun and get a lot of traction and being insightful just to the public. So
send those links over to me. Anything you got coming. Our content division now is starting. If you think this is organized, wait till you see that. Our content division is starting to put together all the coins that we have here. You're going to be getting content written about you from the Shogun perspective, and which goes out to our Reddit and our Twitter and everything else to share that value with you as well.
Fantastic. Yeah. I love what you guys are building. Thanks a lot for having me again.
Thank you. Take care.
You too.
And now we have us. Unfortunately, Bitcoin Barbie and the whole thing wasn't able to be here. I do apologize. I wish she was. No Hat, what do you got coming for us, buddy? Anything good for the next weeks?
So I was speaking about the music albums. So we are focusing on that. We plan to launch it in March. Along with the music albums, we are going to start weekly streaming DJ club night. Let's say it like this, with the entrance ticket being minted NFTs. Each person that mints one NFT will have the interest for 4 of the parties. We already have Shanghai, Hong Kong, Lisbon, and we are now trying to set a partnership with LA. So the idea is to have at least 4 cities and to run it for 4 months for 4 parties for every people can do it. The thing about the NFTs, and this was mentioned earlier about the Phantom Wallet, we have 4 persons in each city with a mailing list with complete information about how to set up a Phantom Wallet and how to maintain an NFT, and they are also available to help with that process. That's actually one of the things that we are also focusing. We do have a big community in China right now, and we are going to start our spaces in Chinese as well. We do have a weekly space already. Okay. Everyone is invited to come. We were supposed to do it tomorrow, but since it's Valentine's Day, we decided to have a night off. So
I'm in trouble. Well, my Chinese sucks, so it's all good. I can come in and listen and anticipate. But
we are also planning to launch at the same time some merch. to have it running in the parties. We have neon lights being made and some video the content just for the parties. And about the merch, we are also working not only on for humans but some pet merch as well.
Awesome. So there is some things that we're, as far as the previous segment there, the concepts of content delivery is also almost like a PR system for us. Is that with our content division, we're putting together not just to talk about Shogun and what we're building, but also the coins from the show itself. The Shogun show will also have a whole page and a whole network that'll talk about all the projects that you have, share the tidbits of the show here for it, and be out there as well. But I want you to know that because I know you have a lot of stuff, and a lot of people won't remember a lot of the things that most of us talk about here, but this will put it out there in front of them and be a part of that. So please let us know when those shows are releasing for you, and share it with your outreach program people to get that into our content delivery. All right. Thanks, No Hat, for being here today. Congress, what do you got, Jess?
So we actually have been working with a professional artist. So if you guys look on my X, my personal X is at iBuildWithStone. You'll see that the PFP is actually one of his renderings, which is nice. So the whole purpose of this rendering is to make it personal and to make it fun. So we're trying to piggyback off of Fortnite. I know you guys have heard of that multi-billion-dollar corporation Fortnite, right? They made a free game and then they told everybody, hey, buy our skins. So instead of buying our skins, we're just going to have you buy Congress, and the top holders are going to get gifted these things that they could either choose to interact with in future upcoming contests. So hypothetically, if us and the Shogun team end up creating a game, you'll be able to try to implement those types of things, and that's something that I thought would be cool with you. I mean, forget about me. I mean, you already have a game going on. Maybe that you guys are able to do that same thing. I'm cool with sharing all the ideas. I'm definitely an idea guy. But with me being an actual hardscaper, an actual builder, business owner, I'm all steak, a little sizzle. I like that.
Yeah. All steak with a little sizzle. Yeah. I'm more about the smell than anything else. Yeah.
Yeah.
I sell the smell of it. Yeah, there it is.
And we want to make it real personal. And I think that sometimes like people think, oh, Congress, and like everybody from America. Yeah, we're not talking about the same type of Congress. The reason that Congress is a thing is because in the crypto space, we want everybody to have a say. And in Congress, what it's supposed to be is the yays and the nays of what's going through, the checks and balances system of the United States. So I don't care if you make a fucking lizard man, if, my guy's just a guy in a suit because I'm doxxed. It's just really a guy just drew me. So you could have whatever, and to be able to incorporate that into a game would be cool. But right now we don't have the game. We just have the artist, and it's for the top holders. So the top 20 holders right now, the devs, myself, are paying that artist to create that for people.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate everything you're building because you are a businessman. And you're not just thinking of yourself. Of course, any good business thinks of the future, thinks of the community, thinks of the value. You provide that in spades. And I know being a hard working with stone's not easy. I've tried just about every single medium ever. If you ever think of like this idea little thing we did today is me every 8 minutes of the day, unfortunately, like what can I build next? Right. So I know that artistic value meets the hard work of masonry. At that point is very powerful. So I appreciate you being here today, Jess. And even though that it's not a Solana coin directly in that world of what we could provide our bots to, I don't care. I loved meeting you. You are an awesome dude. And I love the pantomimes and the add-on.
Let's do more. Let's do more.
Let's build more. That's gonna be a whole one. Let's build more. I love it, Jess. Thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you.
We'll come up with final statements here in a second. Jay, what do you got for us, bud? I know there's a lot of stuff happening with Tire Dads. I'm going to try to keep this as very quick as possible if we can. But what do you got happening that's coming in the next 2 weeks?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. So I'm going to speak about the one thing that I'm most interested about myself, and that the community doesn't know anything about it yet. So we are releasing an NFT collection with 300 pieces. It's almost finished. right now, and by holding that NFT, you will gain access to sleepless society. It's funny how the professor is talking about helping with sleep,
Yeah,
and
right.
we're building a sleepless society
It's not
in the
coincidence.
back room. Yeah.
It's a method
And
to the madness of the Trader
when
Max version of Shogun. Sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, it's okay. So if you hold the NFT and you're part of the sleepless society, you will get benefits announced later, all of it, what it will have. And we're going to have different kind of community events. What we are planning on having, and we're building it right now, is going to be a scavenger hunt that is going to be very, very interesting. And of course, it's going to be some daddy themed scavenger hunt.
Cool.
But that NFT collection is meant
That is
for the
great.
people who believe in the project. It's going to bring revenue for the project that is going to be
Of course.
for the benefit to build it. And by supporting through that NFT sale, you'll get access to the sleepless society and become even more tired at the process.
Yeah, become even more tired. Like sleepless means that you're going to not have sleep. That's awesome. I appreciate that because that is true, and
Yeah.
that is true alpha NFTs. Because now I'm going to be going over and getting ready. When are you releasing the links to where everything is at? When is that supposed to hit? Do you have an exact date, or are you still just kind of open with that part?
Not exact date, but I'll make
Okay.
sure you're one of the first people who gets to hear about it.
Ching, let's go. I'm all for it. Thank you so much, Jay. I really do appreciate you being here. Tired Dad sponsored the show today, which we always are so grateful for. All the work that they do over there and what they've done with us. As if you don't know, a sponsor, when they come in, they pay for a show. It's not very inexpensive, but it's not too expensive for all the stuff they're going to be getting from it. But we also take 25% of that amount that they did spend, invest it back into the coin in what we call a vested coin read. And then we put it in our portfolio. What is the portfolio? Well, this is where we put the coins that we've vested in as Shogun, not just Trader Max, but Shogun itself. And we invest and divest as we go. It's certain small amounts, not big stuff to hurt the chart, but enough to keep the volume going and keep things going. We do that in one part automation, a little bit of part manual, right? There has to be certain marks that it's making. But as far as building things, we have a portfolio management balancer that's being made for our AI bots and system, which is very powerful. And that helps them keep that. When we find coins that are always looking about moving forward, we can't invest in everything, that's just like fly by night and that kind of stuff. But we got some great projects that are in there. Tired Dads is one of them. No Hat's another. There are others. There's other coins and systems that we have in there as well. All right. That sort of gets us to a point where everybody has been taken care of. And now I got to do a little bit of self-centering here, where I'm going to talk about just real quickly on the alpha. I really don't take time to shill Shogun because Shogun's pretty well known with what we're building. But as they know, as my community knows, I never stop. I never give up. And the sentiment is that Max is in there working. Everybody's in there working. They're doing their thing. The family's doing it. We are a big love of everything about the communities that we're building. But just like we talked about a couple of times so far, we talked about the Anvil bot. We talked about the Tsunami bot. And those were made because we listened to the community. We listen to the ecosystem of cryptocurrency. And one of the things we did hear so many times we have been listening to is, boy, I started my coin over in Pump and it got rugged. CTOs, 90%, 99% of the CTOs that I know started on Pump Fund. Those things. So what if we made an unruggable system? Not completely unruggable. That's almost impossible, right? But pain ruggable kind of thing. Like somebody's not going to go to our system and use our system if they're in the intent to rug, because it'll be pain for them to do so. So we built something called the Launchpad. Now there's a million launch pads out there. Let's be real, right? But none like this, none like what is coming to you right now. And I'm going to tell you why. Let me share my screen with you. Anticipation out of the way. Shogunux, the Launchpad for Shogunux is something that we built with a connection with one thing, is to create a fair sale for Pump Fund, not a like Pump Fund, not somewhat that is Pump Fund. What physically is Pump Fund? Pump Fund itself, we built a fair sale system, which is the Shogun platform, where you can bring your partners, the people that you want to invest, and give them a fair sale system where they can spend a soul and get the coin. Everybody gets it, buys at the same level. You're buying the bottom. And then once it's funded, because you set the realm, you can only do up to 85 soul in there. So it's not that you can spend $1 million, put $1 million in. You don't need $1 million in there, but you make this system to where everybody who comes over, you're buying the bottom. Because what is Pump Fund but a PvP generator, right? Because you go there, the dev releases it, he releases the CA, and then a whole bunch of sniper bots are over it, and everybody's selling and buying over top of each other. Oh, you sold before me. Oh, I ruined, but whatever, right? So we made this system that where you can have a place where you can either keep it private and only give it to certain people, or you can put it public and get featured and do all that stuff. So we built this system to the fair sale system that once you get funded, you push the button, it goes to launch, and it goes to Pump Fund itself. You then do whatever it is. Now, for the first 30 minutes before you hit bonding, if you don't hit bonding in 30 minutes, that's okay. There's no penalty for that. But before you hit bonding, first 30 minutes, nobody can leave the coin. The people that put the money in can't pull their money out. That's right. Now, if it hits bonding in a couple of seconds, that's a mute point. But if it's still there, let's say it takes an hour, like, or 2 hours or 3 hours, and you have not bonded yet, there's certain levels that you can pull your money out, but not without penalty. So this keeps the average Joe from going in there and just making a ruggable coin. But what this also does is it gives you an opportunity to trust the people you're with as well. Like your partners that are coming over, or the people that you've given opportunity for this, they can't leave without a penalty of that process. First 30 minutes, they can't leave at all. This keeps it in there for to have that chance for it to go high. Also gives the people that are holding in that sale an opportunity to trust the dev in there as well. So this works both ways. Once it goes to bond and it goes to radium, the coins are released. That's another big thing. The coins are released, so they can't sell along the way up to it. They can pull out, but they don't actually physically get coins. They just get their Solana back for what they've originally put in. So there's no advantage of them other than just not wanting to be, or they don't trust the dev. But it gives you an opportunity to pull your money out without a loss. Maybe a 1% fee, depending on where you get out at. But we made this system so we can validate coins as well. As people come over, those that go through our system, go through Shogun, be able to get the web forwards, build a website. If you want to know the quality of the websites it builds, go have a look at Tired Dad's website. That's something that we helped build over there. Mr. Quinton built that site himself with the help of Mac and others, and everybody over from that network. But our Shogun system here is launching this week. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. We're trying to get a coin launch for that. It doesn't look like we're probably going to make it at that level. That's okay. But over this weekend and into the beginning of next week, we're going to have one of our first, our biggest launches in there. We've had one launch that we did for our Shogun coin that hit 3.1 million. It was there for a test. Negative connotation, a lot of stuff there. That's a whole other story. I don't even need to go into it. But man, it is so powerful in that system, especially when you add in live scenarios just like this. You have such great opportunity to do well. We made that system. It's very powerful. It's going to be coming. It's here now. We have a lot of other things. We have the shogunx.io network as well, which is like a DEX screener, but for only coins that we trust. There's a lot of stuff that's in there, and we can't wait to release it all to everybody, because this is one of the babies that wanting to make coins. Like I want to make all kinds of coins, but I'm going to let the world do that, and I'm just going to help them build like we've built all of our stuff. So we can't wait for that to come out and happen and to enjoy with all of you. All right, so that's my alpha for today. At this very last part, I know we got about 20 minutes over, but I want to give everybody here just a quick 30, 40 seconds to say something to their community and just have an ending statement here. Let's start with No Hat. I know we lost a couple people down below. Oh, the professor there, but No Hat. Let me bring the professor back up as well. Let's start with No Hat. Is there anything you would like to say in final?
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to be here and once again to learn with so many different projects. Actually, it's very to me, it's always a learning process. So it doesn't matter what I do when I wake up. By the end of the day, I know a lot more about people and this mindset, this PPP mindset, these vibes of collaboration, of finding avenues to do everything better. It's what I'm looking for.
Absolutely. It is such a strong thing. These shows are always about bringing that communication together and bringing these great coins, but you're part of that. You've been with us from the beginning. I think you were part of one of our first shows here in this new system. And I know you were in the old system as well, but I appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot, Nohat.
Yeah, and you guys also have a NFT space, right? So it's going to be
that's supposed to be firing off tomorrow, but it would be being Valentine's Day. I don't know if my wife's going to punch me in the head. I got to go talk with it. All right, but thanks, Nohat. I appreciate you today.
Thank you, Max. Thank you, Shogun.
Professor, you have anything you want to kind of throw into your community? I know you put a lot of, as far as it goes, you have, and we're going to put this out there because I want everybody to see it. Sort of towards the end of the show, we have 1,485. It's not an all-time high, but it's not the all-time low either. It's absolutely wonderful. 307 you brought in your community today. Do you have anything you want to say to your community, and anything else that for 30, 40 seconds?
They can probably predict what I'm going to say. The lab coat stays on. And we have a new acronym that we just developed for Snooze Labs. Mm-hmm. Let's freaking sleep. LFS.
Oh, there you go. I like that. Let's go. Let's freaking sleep. Nice. Well, thank you so much for being here today. Your community is awesome. Thank you for sharing your community with us. If you're watching over on the lab Twitter account, thank you so much for watching and being here today and putting in your 10 cents inside your community. We look forward to some great stuff. We're going to be over to visit you here soon, as much as I can, and talk about the investment system that we're going to do for you as well. And everything you've contributed today, which I can't thank you enough for, in putting your time in the chill portion.
Yeah, really appreciate everybody here on the show. Thanks a lot, Trader Max. You guys are great, and look forward to taking this potentially further from here.
Yo, absolutely. We appreciate the flowers. Not last, not least, not in the middle, but Congress, Jesse, buddy, thank you. Is there anything that you would like to chuck out, man?
I could talk forever. First and foremost, I just want to say you're a badass. If nobody said this on the show to you or before, you're a badass, Max. We appreciate you. We appreciate you, Quentin. I love just being on here and learning the different communities. The thing that I'm going to say, man, is just keep your communities tight. Forget all the jeets. Make sure that you consistently say the same message. I think that's one of the things that people forget is that they say it 3 or 4 times a week, and then they forget that new people are coming in and you have to say it 3 or 4 times every hour. You know what I mean? And it's a regurgitation over and over and a domino effect. So no, man, we love you guys. We definitely want to, try to collaborate and be more part of the show. Obviously you can see I'm a motherfucking personality, baby.
Yeah. I love it. You should have your own show, brother. I'll support you. I'll be your co-host.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. I'm all for it. I mean, that's actually something that one of me and my influencers, up next, Danny, I know that Tired Dad, you guys work with him. You can see that, he's great at what he does. We're trying to put together to be able to bring all the communities together, be able to show your own project. Let's spill some alpha. People that I know may not be people that et cetera, et cetera. Keep growing.
We are, man. Like this show is just taking off, some days it's through the roof, and some days, it all depends on who we have here. Right. And it's awesome because it's always the same consistent value that we get a lot of response. We get a lot of people coming in through that system. So I appreciate you being here. And I look forward to having you on more shows. Like I want to have some specialty shows with you, and we're gonna click and we're gonna vibe so well. I can't wait to just kind of get into the whole motion of it. Thank you so much, Jesse. I appreciate you, buddy.
Absolutely.
All right. Up next, we got Jay, the sponsor of the show. Is there anything you would like to say to your community and directly to the process? We appreciate you being here and sponsoring the show today.
Yeah, all that I'm gonna say is that stay tired. It shows that you're working hard.
That's right. Stay tired. I love it. All I see is Eeyore coming out and be like, okay, I'll stay tired. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you being here today and sharing your community with us and the love of the network. We appreciate you. Mr. Quentin, as usual, dude. You see, I get all the props and the flowers for making the show look good, but man, the show would not exist if it wasn't for you, brother. I appreciate all the hard work you do, my man.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I always say a lot of the same stuff. Thank you everyone for being here. I always appreciate you guys so much. Thank you to my outreach team, because at the end of the day, it's the outreach team that is able to go out, talk with you all, make those connections with you, and learn how great people you are, and then get you onto the show. So I love my outreach team so much. The more I work with them, the closer I get. But there's also something new in the works, being able to work with more people inside of Shogun. We're also organizing a content team. So getting focused with that, anyone that I work with, I always love to give a little bit of kudos out anytime I can. So far, so good. I'm so excited to be working with all of you.
Yeah, it's bullish, baby. I love it.
The bull, exactly.
It's so the bull's butthole. That's all I care about.
Yeah, the coin. That's another coin. The bull's butthole.
The bull's butthole. Launchpad. Going to Shogun right now. We're going to do a launch right now. So please send your one soul to shogunx.com. No, we can't. Go ahead.
But I'm just always happy to be working with new people, and it's exactly that. It is bullish, and being able to see the new systems and connections that are made, and being able to be passionate in that. I'm slowly getting more and more into that builder phase, but I'm loving it.
Yeah. There's something to when we build out the spaghetti on the wall. I hate that analogy. Like, let's throw all the spaghetti on the walls. You're fucking throwing good food away. It doesn't take much to think of stuff as you put stuff out. But also the spontaneity of this industry is very tough. Like, people are like, you got to plan everything. Well, yes, you do to a degree. It depends on what the outcome is, but like, there's this whole thing with the launch pad. Like, everybody's like, what are you waiting for? Let's launch it. It's like, yes, we are launching it. Like, somebody's like, let's just go there right now and make a coin. And I almost did, like, we were just joking about it just right now, but he's like, yeah, let's just go. Let's just go into a room. Let's make a launch. We might do that. We might just like make a show and be like, and I don't want to have nothing to do with it. I want to like give somebody like, hey, come up with this and let's see if just launch something, have everything ready, but do something to that effect. So if you are watching and you want to launch a coin and have all the process with us, we'll help you build it, build the website, do all that stuff, get the crew together, get the thing, get deck screener in, get all that stuff on. If you just got an idea that you've been kicking around, and you just want to make it happen, then this is the place to do it. So I look forward to all of you taking this off to the next level. 1,509 people. I'm going to do one last screen share on this, just so you can see that it is real. 1,511 people right there here on the Shogun Gun Show. Thanks to all the people from Jesse to Tired Dad to No Hat to Professor Labs, Murad down there below, Guy, everybody that's contributed. We can't do this show without you. Make sure that you check us out on shoguncrypto.com, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Everybody in the panel here, please stick around for the backstage pass after this. All right, everybody, here comes the outro. We love you, and as always, live well.